internationally known for its architecture and urban design. The master plan of the city was prepared by Swiss-French architect Le Corbusier, and Chandigarh has one of the highest per capita incomes in the country. Many trees in Chandigarh are given the status of the natural heritage of city. The Chandigarh government has identified a list of 31 trees that are 100 or more years old and have been given heritage status. Chandigarh is known for its green belts and other special tourist parks. The Sukna Lake hosts the Garden of Silence. The rock garden is located near the Sukna Lake and has numerous sculptures made using a variety of different discarded waste materials. The Zakir Hussain Rose Garden, which is also Asia's largest rose garden, contains nearly 825 varieties of roses in it and more than 32,500 varieties of other medicinal plants and trees. The Chandigarh Golf Club was laid out in 1962 and has an interesting anecdote to its side. As the golfing folklore goes, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, wanted to visit Chandigarh but was conveyed to postpone his visit since the Chief Commissioner that time was away to Delhi on a golfing holiday. Pandit Nehru was surprised to know that people have to travel to Delhi to play golf. Why can't Chandigarh have its own golf course? He is understood to have remarked, and that statement sowed the seed for Chandigarh Golf Club. The Chandigarh Golf Club has been a nursery for Indian professional golf, having produced many leading Indian professionals such as Jeev Milkha Singh, Amandeep Johal, Harmeet Kalon, Amritinder Singh, Ajitesh Sandhu, Sujan Singh, Yuvraj Sandhu, Angad Cheema and Gurbaz Mann to name a few. The club shares mutual serenity as it hugs the famous Sukna Lake and the residences of Punjab and Haryana governors in the pristine Sector 6 of Chandigarh. Developed to international standards, the 18-hole golf course spans 7,202 yards. The Chandigarh Golf Club is an environmentalist dream. The serenity of the surroundings and a concerted drive by the course management to preserve and enhance flora and fauna deserve kudos. You can find honey buzzard, spotted owlet, blue jay among other rare varieties on the course. The club is hosting the Trident Open 2025 this week with a 1 crore prize purse. There was daylight between the top two and the rest of the field as the 5 players bunched in third place were a further 3 shots behind at 5 under 211. The players in tied third included the Chandigarh duo of Yuvraj Sandhu and Akshay Sharma, as well as Shubham Jaglan, who is playing in his first PGTI event. Shaurya Bhattacharya and Mohammad Azhar. Former PGTI Order of Merit champion Manu Ganda scored a 69 to close the third round in second place at 8 under 208. Teenager Manoj S fired a 5 under 67 to storm into the lead in round 3 of the inaugural Trident Open. At the age of 17 years, 7 months and 26 days, Manoj is now in line to become the youngest player to win as a professional on the PGTI. The record is currently held by Shubhankar Sharma, who achieved the feat at PGTI Cochin Masters 2014 at the age of 17 years, 8 months and 22 days. So all eyes will now firmly be on the young Manoj S.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages. Welcome to the city beautiful Chandigarh for the Trident Open 2025. I am your host Shaurya Singh, joined alongside Rahul Bajaj and Mr. Shivasnath. The three of us will bring to you the final day's action, and action has been aplenty here on this beautiful golf course. Leading the tournament, Manu Gandas 9 under par, K. Prabhakaran at 6 under par, and local favourite Yuvraj Sandhu and Akshay Sharma, joined alongside by youngster overnight leader Manoj S, just further adrift, 3 shots behind. It's been a brilliant week. The weather has been genial, perfect weather, a little bit of sunlight, not too nippy, ideal conditions, and the players are making the most of it. The cut was applied at a generous 4 over par owing to the difficult conditions of the golf course this week, trying the players, and would be interesting to note who emerges champion.
An interesting leaderboard here awaits us, and absolutely action-packed day. Manu Gandas coming up at top with that birdie on the second hole today on the par five, and you can see that the experience is really coming to the fore here because Manu, without a single drop shot, just catching up on one, and Manoj has kind of dropped off that leaderboard. And K. Prabhakaran from Sri Lanka also with those two birdies on that front nine, moving on to 6 under par. So 3 shots away from Manu, but really catching up on that leaderboard. And Akshay Sharma also with that lone birdie on that front half and 8 pars. So certainly seems like coming off of the ages.
Yeah, it's been a riveting week thus far, and it's turning out to be an ideal final day. A lot of youngsters gunning for glory, none more so than 17-year-old, a precocious youngster to say the least. Of course, he's had a little bit of a hiccup today. It's the final day, maybe a case of nerves. He's 3 over through 7, but seeing the kind of pedigree that he possesses and the zest for the game, I'm pretty certain that he'll bounce back. Manu Gandas, of course, a proven record and a winner many times over, especially with his experience on our screens with what appears to be maybe about a 12-footer.
Right, currently on the ninth hole, Shaurya playing alongside Shubham Jaglan today, who is currently at even par for the day and 5 under par for the tournament. And Manoj, of course, he's still got about 11 holes to go, so lots can still happen. Just look at this putt, break a little bit from the left to the right.
Looks fairly makeable from here. Of course, ground conditions are different, but I'd look for him to make this one.
Unfortunately,
And
just didn't have enough legs.
almost there. He had the line, maybe just a little bit more, and that would have gone home.
There'll be a little, tiny little tap in for Shaurya to finish up that front half.
Shaurya currently sitting at 4 under par, and a man making all the right moves is Shamim Khan. He's birdied 10, 11, and 12 on the back nine, and the heavyweight is 3 under par for the day and 3 under par for the tournament. He has the unique distinction from being the highest earner on the professional golf tour of India. So he's amassed a lot of career money, shows you his consistency.
There was Shubham Jaglan holding out that putt. And the pin here on the ninth hole today is at a pretty precarious spot here. 6 in from the front and 4 from the right. A tough one, especially coming in to this green. Generally, players would be coming in from 150 to 100.
Say this is one. I mean, given that it's the final day, it's a little easier than the ones that you see on the back right ledge. So it's still more accessible. The front flag.
Absolutely, it is, but only with a shorter club. Although I think that because it's so close up to that front edge as well as the bunker on the front, that you can't really be too aggressive with it. You can't be too cute with it. So good players would usually be about 6 to 10 feet by the hole at least, and that's Mohammad Azhar cleaning up without any trouble there for him.
And for all of you wondering, that's us on your split screen.
Or is it?
It's an early morning, and we want to make sure that yes, that is me, Shaurya, on the left hand side, and this the distinguished gentleman on my right hand side is Rahul Bajaj.
Moment, still trying to find that form back again since his last win at the DLF Golf and Country Club.
Manu has opened a little bit of a chasm between himself and the rest of the field. He's currently 3 shots ahead. And currently surveying this bunker shot. Giving it some thought, so deciding what kind of shot he's going to go with in the left-hand trap here at hole number 10, which is a par 4. You can see he's flaring that club face open, so maybe looking for some spin on that one.
The pin's just towards the left side of the green, so he's going to have to be quite soft with it. A pretty fab job of that, but unfortunately, it's still going to be left with about a 12-footer to make par.
Surprising amount of roll on that one, given the fact that he executed so well.
It seems like there's also wind blowing from right behind him, so I think it gets a little tough to employ enough amount of spin. And looking at that live also, I think Varun was looking at it quite intently. Goes to show that probably not the best of lies to be, to create enough spin from under the ball.
Yeah, hole number 10 measures only 426, but you can't quite attack the hole, so as to speak. Driver is not an option. It narrows down with the shoot trees on either side, so majority of the field probably going with a 2 iron off the tee and then hitting some sort of maybe a 7 or 8 iron to the front flag.
Akshay Sharma trying to cook up something special from that front edge. Probably be looking for a chip in over here.
Yeah, he's one of the best proponents of short game, especially around the greens. Very aggressive, as really crouches into it. So let's see how he does this time.
It seems like he's overplayed that line a little bit, and he knew it as soon as it came off that club face.
Yeah, bobbled up a little bit. Seems to have been one of those that climbs up the face. As you have a look at athletic Shubham.
Shubham Jaglan, who now plays mostly on the PGA Tour Americas. He qualified for that tour just a few months ago. A
That,
brilliant golf swing, that.
that is a modern swing. If you can show me one, that's a lot of strength and athleticism as well. Now you have a look at Shaurya also opting to go with the driving iron. This is a club that we saw a lot at the DP World India Championship at the Delhi Golf Club. This is a club that the modern players can hit up to maybe about 260. These youngsters, maybe even more.
Probably even further, Shaurya. And a lot of these guys, especially playing at the Delhi Golf Club, you can really see them hitting it 270, 280 yards on a lot of holes.
Yeah, good swing.
He seems to quite like that.
That's a good shot. I must say that the youngsters of today are a different breed altogether. Very good on-point swings.
As we were having this little chatter just before we started off today as well, let's just first take a look at Mohammad Azhar.
Going with the
Azhar,
3-wood, of course, I think Mohammad Azhar is maybe a little shorter off the tee than the other two players. A little more body English as compared to the other players.
seems to have leaked it out to the right, but is absolutely fine and should have a clear shot to
Yeah,
the
but
green.
the ball is going to be sitting down, so difficult to control it from that intermediary rough, especially with that front flag. It's going to be difficult. Well, if it pitches on the green, will roll at least 15 feet, 20 feet by.
Shaurya, the pin still is about 21 in from the front, so he will have some space there for the ball to be running up. Let's take a look at Varun. Varun putting for par here on the 10th hole.
Seems that this front flag is causing a few troubles to these players. We've seen two of them miss the green. Now having to putt for par. So it's not always the overall yardage of a hole. It's of course the bite as well that you have in a hole, and this one has quite a bit of that.
And one definitely needed some legs and probably a little more line.
It's also an enticing flag. Front left gets the bunker into play. Also, if you try to get a little cute, you leave it short, and you can have that putt coming back, as you can see Akshay has. Going with the floral theme is Akshay.
Yep, I think it's kind of been his theme throughout the week, bringing out those big flowery shirts. It really goes with his personality, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's all sunshine and rainbows today here in the city. Beautiful, Tri-City. And coincidentally, the tournament is also a Trident. So it's going to be interesting to see who wins in the Tri-City. The Trident Open 2025. A big tournament indeed. Lots of prize money. 1 crore on offer. And unfortunately, Akshay missing that on the lower side. That's pretty much out of character for him to miss that up and down.
Well, that'll be a costly putt here for Akshay Sharma. He's going to drop off to 5 under par, so further away from the leader Manu Gandas, which is really going to slow down his challenge.
What are your thoughts? Two players have bogeyed this hole. And this is not a hole that they would be thinking that they'd make a bogey. You normally think about hole number 7 or 15 as being a few of the holes that you can actually drop a shot, maybe 9, but not 10. So it's rather unfortunate for them to have dropped a shot here.
Well, unfortunate it is, and definitely for Akshay, because that's going to take him further away from trying to catch up on Manu. And Jamal Hussain from Bangladesh, of course, having no trouble there.
I've also had a look at the other scores, and I think it's a masterful pin placement by a tournament committee. It's seen a lot of bogeys and even a double, so I'm a little flummoxed as to how, and only solitary two birdies. So you think the bunker is really coming into play, or the players are leaving it short? I can't quite think of anything else, Rahul.
Well, I'm not quite sure, but certainly on this hole, I think the tee shot is the one that makes the most of the difference. Not really where the pin location is. I think the pin's in a pretty decent spot today. 21 in from the front. They've got plenty of room from the front edge to the hole, and yes, pin's tucked in on the left, but nothing that these players aren't familiar with.
Yeah, surprising. It's yielded a lot of bogeys, and
Well, having said that, Shamim Khan did make a birdie here as well. So, he made a three on this and a birdie on this next and the birdie on the next. So, certainly not, uh, probably not the toughest of them. And Harsh Gangwar also made a birdie on this hole. So, uh, but definitely a lot more blues on this hole than the reds.
yeah, probably Shamim ideal shot shape for him. Draws off the tee and even the second shot, so maybe sort of really caters to him as we have a look at hole number 9, where we see Manu seems to be on the left hand side of the fairway, and our first look at stylish Yuvraj Sandhu.
Well, the local lad, Yuvraj Sandhu, has just made a birdie on hole number 8 to move to 7 under par. So, very much within striking distance of Manu.
Yeah, that's always important. Remain in the rear view mirror. Don't go out of sight. I look for this to be close. This is definitely go territory for Yuvraj.
So he's certainly going with a wedge, so gives him that chance to be more aggressive with this kind of a flag location. And
Uh,
he's certainly got like 100 yards or
he's
so.
looking at it. He's walking, and well,
This is exactly what I was talking about earlier, Shaurya, that you can't be too aggressive with this flag position.
I'm
You
assuming
can tend
that
to get too cute with it.
I'm assuming that ball short of the green is his ball.
Exactly. So one can't be too cute with this kind of a flag location. You want to play this just a touch over the flag stick. Nonetheless, he's still in a pretty decent spot and should have still a chance to make another birdie.
Deceptively difficult flags.
Absolutely, and you can see the winds also kind of picked up, so that also will change the way the course plays quite a bit, especially on your approach shots. Not so much on the tee shots for this course, but on the approach shots on these tough pin positions is definitely going to be playing much tougher. Leader group today with Manoj S, Manu, and Yuvraj Sandhu. Manoj S, of course, looking for a couple of birdies. He still is very well within striking distance, though. He's only at 6 under par. And, for a player like him, 3 birdies to come by, you never know when they do.
Yeah, it's been a difficult day thus far for the youngster. I'm pretty certain that he should be able to turn it around. He's had a lot of success in his brief stint on the Professional Golf Tour of India. Of course, this is a different animal. You're playing with two top dogs, so as to speak, the creme de la creme of the Professional Golf Tour of India. Two players who have a lot of international experience and domestic victories. So it's going to be interesting to note how he's able to hold his own today. And I think if this week is something to go by, he's done pretty well so far. You see the referee there. Now, what could they be discussing here?
I think this is a case of preferred lie, so he's just sort of understanding where is it that he can place the ball. Will this one be closer to the hole or not? So that's kind of what they must be discussing over here. And going by that, what you were just talking about earlier, Manu and Yuvraj both have been order of merit champions on the PGTI. And Manoj is a rookie on tour, so he's definitely in very fine company. Both of them have also played 1 year on the DP World, so that gives them a lot of experience in their games.
And back to the action. This is hole number 9. You can see Manu really does have a difficult putt. It's green with multiple levels to it. You got about a 2-step decline there. 3 levels to it. Indeed going to be a good putt to get it within 5 feet. We'll need to control the speed, and the line is rather confounding as well. So maybe have to aim almost 15 feet right of this flag, and then trust that. So important to believe your read. Let's see how he executes this. Greens are rolling at about 8.5. So with the sun out, become a little faster. Let's see how this one holds up. On its way now. Now you see it gather speed. And hasn't he done well? What a brilliant putt. That's looking good all the way. That was indeed the Midas touch from the former number one. What a brilliant putt. He made it look easy, but believe you me, that required a lot of touch and finesse. And of course, he has that aplenty. Manu Vandas.
And that's really the experience coming to the fore over here. If you saw, his golf ball was in the left rough off the tee, and he played that shot beyond the hole, giving himself ample room to work with, and nearly made that birdie as well, Shaurya.
Yeah, that was a brilliant putt.
Manoj coming from the top shelf. He's going to have a downhill putt here. Well, it doesn't quite look like it, on the TV. You can't see much of the downhill there, but there's plenty of slope on that green.
Yeah, and this one has a tendency of really running away from that side of the green. It's almost about putting from 3.5 feet above the hole. So it'll be imperative that he gets the speed correct. Otherwise, this could really run away from him.
Certainly be a bit of a tester.
But he's tested the hole, and
wow.
There you go. He had that dialed in, and as I said, the youngster now baring his fangs and wanting to come back strong on the back nine. What a brilliant putt.
That's a lovely positive way to turn on that front nine, and that's definitely going to give Manoj some amount of confidence as he moves into the back half of this tournament.
Yeah, that's a brilliant putt. We've seen two immaculate putts here.
Yuvraj Sandhu now trying to make his own. He's trying to catch up with Manu Gandas. He's 2 shots away. This one to move within 1.
I'm also happy to see that choice of putter here, because we've seen that if you do take the wedge out, it can get a little unpredictable from just outside the green. This might be a good opportunity here to make this putt. It's looking good. It's looking good. Just about snaking away at the end. A good effort, nevertheless. And so we'll have Manoj joining Yuvraj in second place, with Manu Gandas leading by 2 shots.
So I don't think that was a preferred lie situation. I think that might have been a hydrant situation there for Yuvraj. Him taking a drop there, because the local rules don't suggest so. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the Sukna Lake on your screens now. This is Chandigarh, the beautiful city, and you're watching the Trident Open 2025, the 23rd event of the PGTI season 2025. We're here live from the Chandigarh Golf Club. What a beautiful view here. The drone flying all over this golf course. Back to the action over here. We've got Mohammad Azhar on our screen.
Manu now on hole number 10. The back nine on the final day. And that is where all the action happens. They've done pretty well so far. They've been able to comport themselves in an excellent fashion, especially the front runners. And let's see what the back nine offers them. As far as the trailing players are concerned, we have some good scores coming up. Kushal Singh sprinkling some stardust again. 2 under par today, reaching 4 under par. So maybe if he can make a few more birdies and post maybe a 6 under par, that can give these players something to think about. So brilliant play by young Kushal from Gurugram. as we have a look at MD Jamal Hussain on hole number 11, the par 3. Placed about 185 odd yards to the front flag. Players going with a 7 iron or a 6 iron, depending where the pin is placed.
I think those were the older days. Some of them also going with an 8 iron these days, Shaurya.
Yeah, I'm only thinking about my yardages. I forgot that how far the players can bludgeon it, but unfortunately, as they say, a drive for show and putt for dough. So this putt, unfortunately, not going his way for Jamal.
Pin today again in a tough spot here on the 11th hole. Only 10 in from the front and 5 from the left. This one can play really tough because you're coming in from a long range yardage. So to be able to attack a flag which is pretty close to the front edge is quite tough with a club like a 7 iron or a 6 iron. We have got Manoj S now on the 10th.
That seems to be the club of choice, a rescue here.
So I think rescues or 2 irons, they're kind of synonymous with each other, or a 5 wood for that matter. They pretty much go similar distances more often than not. 240 to 260 is what you're looking at off the tee over here on the 10th.
Don't quite recall anybody hitting driver here.
I think, Shaurya, if you recall the amateur days,
Ashok Kumar.
probably in the
remember,
amateur days, even we guys did.
even in tournaments,
you
Ashok used to hit a driver. I remember he was really aggressive, and Manoj, yeah, very balanced swing.
Very good swinger of the club, Manoj. Very natural looking, fluid action by him, just in the right first cut.
Now we have Yuvraj also going with. Is that a rescue or a 2 iron or a 5 wood? Not quite certain. Looks like a wood. You'd know better. Rahul is from your expert eyes.
That's certainly a wood, probably a 5 wood for him. He'll also be trying to get this ball within, around 250 odd yards off the tee, and I think the 5 wood should get the job done for him. Is that a pineapple on his shoes?
Yeah, sure looks like it.
Nice swing there by Yuvraj. Straight off the bat, he knows it's a good one.
I'd like to welcome to the commentary booth Mr. Shivasnath to give us his insights of how the day has progressed thus far, and we also have a look at Manu Gandas ready to tee off.
Shivas, welcome in. And what do you think about the day's proceedings? Manu is leading the way, and Manoj trying to catch up as quickly as he possibly can.
Well, thank you, Shaurya. Thank you, Rahul. It's good to be here. And well, I thought the question you'd have for me, Rahul, would be about the pineapple on Yuvraj's shoes. No, but certainly, it's good to see Manoj S make a birdie on the 9th hole to get his momentum going again for the back 9, because the young man did start off pretty well with a birdie on the 2nd, and then dropped off the pace with a double and then 2 more bogeys. So a good shot. He's placed himself well here, Manu. And it's certainly lining up to be a very interesting day out. The crowds are here. We just saw Yuvraj's father in the frame. Likes to follow his son, and they're very, very close. So the story beckons Manoj S. Yes, 17 years and 7 months and 26 days. And Shubhankar, of course, was a winner at 17 years, 8 months and 22 days. And then, of course, we had young Karandeep Kocher, who I believe was 17 years and 5 odd months and some days, when he was the youngest winner on the PGTI. In fact, he was still an amateur when he won on the PGTI.
Yes, absolutely, he was. Manoj S, of course, would he be able to catch up or not? And that's really going to be the story of the day.
And of course, I do recall Chandigarh boy Amritinder Singh, who we fondly call Tyndall. He actually also won around the same age, before the PGTI was formed, when it was still, in his previous avatar, at 17 years and something. So it looks like the Chandigarh boys start and win young. Manoj S, of course, from Bangalore, KGA, another tremendous track.
A beautiful track that is. And just to go through the day's proceedings now, you've got Yuvraj Sandhu at 7 under along with Manoj, and these two are just 2 shots away from Manu Gandas, who is leading the way, a former Order of Merit winner here on the PGT of India. We have K. Prabhakaran from Sri Lanka on 4th position at 6 under par. So still very well within striking distance. And we've got the other players. We've got Akshay Sharma, the local lad, along with Shubham Jaglan at 5 under par. And we have Kushal Singh, Jamal Hussain, as well as Shaurya Bhattacharya at 4 under par. Badal Hussain, Anshul Kaptial Gaurav Pratap Singh and Mohammad Azhar make up the top 10.
Definitely a very exciting day up ahead. This is a tremendous track. 7,200 odd yards and some very strong par fives as well.
That's our first look here at Anshul Kaptial, the young big hitter, currently at 3 under par, putting here on the 12th hole. Playing alongside K. Prabhakaran from Sri Lanka today, as well as Gaurav Pratap Singh, who is also currently tied at 10th position.
The greens tipping today at 8.2, a shade quicker than they have been the last couple of days at 8. Let's say the course, Rahul, is looking absolutely lovely, lush green. Seems to be a bit overcast, which is great. Great playing conditions. And interestingly, just like yesterday, I don't see too many players wearing any outerwear there. So it's a very comfortable setting. Not too cold, but great weather for sure.
The aerial view that we get from the drone of this course is absolutely scintillating. You can tell all the trees and the forest areas around the golf course and the Sukna Lake. What a beautiful sight that is. Let's take a look at Manoj S coming up from that right first cut onto this flag location on the 10th. 21 in from the front, 5 from the left. Will Manoj get this close enough for a birdie?
He's staring it down. That was a good, positive, strong swing. Aggressive for sure. And that's it. He's just missed it over on the left side, so tugged it just a shade, I imagine.
Probably short-sided it just a little bit, but I think coming up from the rough, maybe just pull that one just a hair. The club can tend to get a little closed up in the rough when it strikes the ground. And I think that's exactly what's happened. Manu checking his swing now, just in case. And Manu, from the angle that he's coming in, he's definitely going to have to draw this one in to get close to the flag. Or even on the green for that matter.
This is a very, it's a sneaky tough hole. And as you correctly said, Rahul, getting your ball from the tee in the right spot is really the magic on this golf course. And especially on this hole for sure.
In fact, this entire back nine, getting the ball off the tee in the right spot in the fairway is very important. Manu Gandas there really pulling that one, probably found himself in the bunker here. I think overdid that draw that we were talking about, right? Let's take a look now at Yuvraj. He's a great drawer of the golf ball, so he should have no trouble from where he's coming in.
And he's certainly in a strong position. He is, of course, our order of merit leader and, eyeing that spot at the end of the season to be a member on the DP World Tour. And that's something that he's had his eyes on from the very start of the season. And he's put a very nice schedule together. Or he's not happy with that at all, as he dug that left as well. Oh, no, it's in there.
No, he's very much on the putting surface. I think he wanted to draw that one a little bit more than what he did. He was signaling it to come further left, I think.
It's really interesting to see some of the body language that we see from the players on the golf course, the way they're gesticulating and talking to the golf ball. And it's quite incredible that how critical we golfers are of ourselves.
And special mention here to Sri Lanka's N. Thangaraja. Jumped up 18 positions today to be at 21st with a book.
Passion can be soft, comfortable, and good looking. My Trident, my love for home.
पढ़ता है खेलता है झूलता उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है मुश्किल खड़ी है खोले सीना सामने एक चट्टान है मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है जिद क्या बावाली जिद क्या बावाली जिद क्या बावाली जिद
पढ़ता है खेलता है झूलता उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया
Welcome back to the live action.
on that golf ball. And also, the only amateur to have made the cut is Krish Chavla, who is currently 2 over for the day. The only person who was able to make the cut as an amateur in this golf tournament. Let's take a look now at Manu's shot. Manu coming up just a wee bit short of the hole.
Yeah, but just you're absolutely right. It just fell on the edge or on the fringe, and that I think basically killed the spin, and it just rolled out dead.
While Manu was trying to hit that shot, Kushal Singh makes another birdie on hole number 13 and moves to 5 under par. At a tie for 5th position now, alongside Akshay and Shubham Jaja. Let's take a look now at Manoj. Manoj coming up from the left side of the green. Over here, he'll if the lie is good, I think he should have a good chance of making a chip in, and I'm pretty sure he's looking forward to this one.
Well, that was a nice, tidy little chip shot. You should clean that up.
Absolutely. Just left with a little 2-footer here for his par, as the players will hereafter move on to the rest of that back nine. There's a row of birdies waiting.
An aggressive player. I personally do enjoy watching him. He has, as you rightly said, very controlled aggression. He knows where to pick his battles and how to get it done.
Absolutely. Now, Manu has his work cut out with this little 8-footer that he has for a par. This is going to be an important putt for Manu because it's just going to reduce the gap between him and Yuvraj and Manoj, which is, well, going to definitely make things a lot more interesting. And the drama is certainly going to be on for this back nine.
It's a very important putt for Manu to maintain his 2-shot lead over Yuvraj and Manoj.
The thing about Manu is that his composure is superb. So, he's like a poker player pretty much. Very zen-like demeanor that he brings to the course. You really can't tell whether he's a good one or a bad one.
No, very well said. He has an excellent demeanor, and that's an unfortunate miss.
And you wouldn't be able to tell whether he made or missed it, and he will just clean that one up and move on to the next. I'm pretty sure he feels it inside, but he's just not giving it away to the rest of us. Is what Manu does beautifully. And well, as we move on to the 11th hole, things are going to look very, very interesting. Shivas, I think it's going to be a back nine filled with a lot of drama.
For sure, it's really tightening up, and Manu's have obviously come back to the field by a shot, and now he's got Yuvraj and Manoj in hot pursuit, and Prabhakaran, as you mentioned, and an absolute tear. So Akshay Sharma, we haven't seen him on screen in a bit, but him in his floral shirt, maybe some magic in there. Yesterday he was doing a lovely one as well, a red and white one. Again, similar design, flora and fauna.
Manoj just cleaned up pretty well, and now it's Yuvraj's turn to clean that one up. Now the gap will be only 1 shot with 8 holes to go, Shivas. For our viewers, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be an absolute interesting back nine. What do you think is going to be the winning score, Shivas? We have the leader now at 8 under par and 2 people trailing at 7 under.
Well, that's the aerial shot, Rahul, that you've been missing. And here we have our production team listening to us from the studio and giving us and our viewers a beautiful overview of this gorgeous golf course. This course, I believe, was built in 1962, and It's just grown from strength to strength. A lot of golfers, great training facilities, lovely clubhouse.
So incidentally, Chandigarh as a city has been pretty much a hotbed of professional golf. We've seen a ton of good top golfers of the world coming out of this city, and your Jeev Milkha Singh comes from this city itself, and you've got Amritinder Singh, the Simranjeet Singh, who is Amritinder's father. He was the person who started this all, and thereafter, we've seen a lot of youngsters. Gurbaz Maan came in from here. Ajitesh Sandhu, Abhijit Chadda, Angad Chima, Karandeep Kochar. And the list just goes on and on and on. Harmeet Kalon comes in from here, So the list is just endless. KPS Sekhon, who's played professional golf for umpteen number of years.
And of course, our very own PGTI CEO, Amandeep Joel Goni, another proud flag bearer for Chandigarh Golf, former national champion, former international himself. So yes, coming back to what we were talking about, I think it's going to be a 10 or 11 under winning score, because someone has to actually get it going, and it's going to have to probably be within the top three on our board today, who are at 7 and 8 under. So someone's going to have to get onto a tear and pull himself away from the rest of the field.
So that is Varun Parekh with that little left-right putt on the 12th hole. 12th hole, as we spoke about yesterday as well, and for those of you who joined us just today, the 12th hole over here at Chandigarh Golf Club is a dogleg right par 4. Not a very long hole. It's just 300 and maybe 60 or 70 yards long, but it certainly is an important second shot on this hole, because the green is like an upturned bowl, really perched up almost on top of a hill, so to speak. And if you miss that, then you have a really tough up and down to be made.
Here we are, live back onto the 11th hole, the par 3, which is about 185, 187 yards. And this one's safely on the putting surface. Nicely done.
Hole number 11, like we spoke about earlier, is like about 180 to 190 yard shot for this front flag. Yuvraj Sandhu should go with something like a 7 iron on this hole. Usually you'd see ball strikers who can hit it pretty high would be willing to take on this flag location. Some who don't have enough spin on their golf ball would certainly find it tough.
And Yuvraj certainly hits it plenty high. And
Yes, and he's a
strong
drawer
lad.
of the golf ball, so he can really attack this one. He can come in from the center green and draw that one up closer to the flag.
Looks like a nice swing he's made.
Played it on what we say is the safe side of that whole location, but should have about 40 feet now for birdie.
Great work by our camera team, Rahul. They've been, wonderful catching the ball in the air, and as our viewers would appreciate, just as we do, that is no easy task.
Our leader now, Manu, coming up. Shubham Jaglan also has made a birdie on hole number 11 and moved to 6 under par for the tournament. And he's also well within striking distance now. I mean, I'm not so sure if he has seen the leaderboard or not, but he's only 2 shots to Manu.
Well, he did have an unfortunate bogey on the 10th, so that kind of dropped him back from 7 to 6, and then he's obviously found his way back. So as they call it, a good bounce back birdie.
Well, Shivas, if you actually look at this, it's really crowded up here now.
It is.
You've got 8 under par with Manu. 1 shot back, Yuvraj and Manoj, and both hungry, because Yuvraj is trying to get that Order of Merit title so that he can, go and enjoy a year at the DP World Tour, because that's what the Order of Merit winner will get. And we've got 2 shots away, K. Prabhakaran, Akshay Sharma, and Shubham Jaglan. So this is certainly going to be a completely drama-filled back nine.
And the course certainly not giving away any birdies or any freebies to any of the players. Some of the courses that we've played, the players are so good. We see them really pummeling the courses and pushing close to 20, 25 under. And here we have a scenario where the course is really holding its own. Incidentally, course record on this course is a 62, I believe. Sanit Chaurasia.
So that
the
was
12th hole.
that was Shaurya Bhattacharya coming up from the fairway. He's given himself about a 15-footer uphill for a birdie, and another player in this group. I can't quite ascertain whose golf ball that is, but that's very much a birdieable opportunity there. Just about under 10 feet. Downhill left to right though. That's the tough, but very much makeable length.
No, this green, as you rightly said, it's a tough one. It's an elevated green. It's got significant movement and contours. And but the good thing, of course, is it sets itself up well because of the length and the fact that these boys hit it far and they likely just have wedges coming in. So definitely puts a premium on placing your tee shot in the right place.
Just to
So that's your leaderboard. Manu Gandas at 8 under, Yuvraj and Manoj S at 7 each. And being pursued, of course, by Shubham Jaglan, who's at 6 under, alongside Akshay Sharma, K. Prabhagaran, and young Kushal Singh, at 5 under, holding his own with the older, more experienced boys.
the 12th hole, actually not all that short. It's 415 yards, not a 360-yard hole, but players do tend to cut across that corner on this dog leg, and then they're left with probably under a 100-yard shot to the flag.
The distance that these boys have hit it on that particular hole, as we've seen today, I would tend to believe that there is a bit of tailwind, which is kind of also assisting them to get it as far up down the fairway as they have. Again, good to see the Chandigarh golfing crowd and spectators out there. A very sporting city with a huge pedigree of producing top sportsmen, and the legendary Milkha Singh ji, all hailing from Chandigarh.
Chandigarh is one of the most busiest golf courses in the country, and I believe it's pretty hard to find a tee time over here on a regular day.
Well, you need to know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy. That's the only way it works.
You just said it, Shivas. I'm pretty sure you know a few.
I'm kind of the intermediary in between.
So just in case you all are looking for a tee time, please look for Shivas Nath.
And he will not be seen
And,
anywhere near Chandigarh.
He spoke like an Italian mafioso. I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy. So yeah, that's how you get a tea time.
Well, thank you, Shaurya.
That's
That
a
doesn't help anyone's reputation in this room right now, by the way.
Yeah. Beautiful putt here, attempt for a birdie by Yuvraj, and just left with a tiny tap in for his par. Beautiful attempt from about 40 feet away.
So indeed, he had absolutely the line right, the pace right. Would have been wonderful for him if he could have actually had a bit of luck and made that one.
Well, that's certainly would have given Manoj a good idea as to what the speed and line would be. Although he's coming from a slightly different angle, the ball should break a little bit from his right to the left, but he's got slightly more uphill than Yuvraj did. Yuvraj was a tiny bit more pin high, so Manoj has a little more uphill putt for a birdie here, and he'll definitely be going for this one.
Well, there's definitely a bit of breeze. While he's standing there, Rahul, we're seeing his pants flapping around a bit. So that would certainly add to the fun element to see how these guys deal with the back nine.
And there we have a lot of attention to detail there, Shivas.
Well, it's all about the detail, right? Rahul, what about the golf? Well, that's a good-looking putt as he got it close enough.
I quite can't tell where that ball has landed up, but should be fairly close, I think.
So there you see on the ticker tape at the bottom of the screen the roll of honor of the top Chandigarh golfers that have hailed from Chandigarh and done themselves, the city and the country proud. We saw Gurbaz's name there as well, and Baz as we all call him. Aside from the fact that he's obviously been an excellent golfer, he's one of the best club fitters in the country as well.
Absolutely, he's kind of a scientist in his own right, and the kind of stuff that he's done with golf equipment and the people that he's helped out, he really thinks out of the box. That's what sets him apart from the rest. And may I now call upon my co-commentator, Shaurya Singh, back to the seat.
Thank you, Raul. That almost seemed like a courtroom. May I no may I not call upon myself? Yes, Your Honor, you may.
Welcome, Shaurya. Welcome, welcome.
We're talking about an Italian courtroom as we have a look at Manu Gandas here, who almost made it. Now I was like an F1 announcer right there, but it was so exhilarating that part.
Definitely a good role, and unfortunate to miss that. Manu does have a little bit of making up to do, and Yuvraj and Manoj snapping on his heels, and that makes this a really fun three ball to follow as well, Shaurya, because all the guys at the top are playing together in this group. So that certainly makes it extremely interesting for the viewers and ourselves.
Yeah, it's a very rare occurrence that you have that the leader group all are in with a shot to win the tournament and within a shot of each other. So this makes it all the more exhilarating for the viewers. They can walk with this group and they know that the winner is going to come out of it most likely.
Of course, that's been done. Shubham Jaglan, who I'm personally very excited to see him playing in India on the PGTI for the very first time as a professional. He would love to, make a few putts and get things going. And I just have a feeling that the speed of the greens here are, obviously not to his liking because he plays most of his golf on the PGA Tour Americas, and it would take a bit of adjustment for him to, tackle the slightly slower greens here this week.
Yeah, I think adaptability is the name of the game for these players. Hole number 13, the par 5. We're looking at Varun Parekh.
That's Varun, that's right.
Yeah, probably one of the longest hitters in tour and a very strong ball striker. Really does put a heavy hit on it. When I say heavy hit, means poundage behind the ball and the transfer of speed and weight both.
You're right. Varun does hit it a long, long way.
And you see, even on the longer irons, he has the ability to take a sizable divot. So should be nothing more than maybe a short medium iron for him from here.
No, that looked like a good swing.
That
Oops,
just
over the
veering
back.
off to the left. Now it's going to be a tricky up and down from there. We've seen that
Yes.
the
indeed.
ball tends to nestle down there, and he's
That's a long way away from the flag.
Yeah, he's quite a bit off the mark here on hole number 13. Missed his target by almost 30 yards. So maybe impeded by those trees and the way he was trying to shape the ball one way or the other, and overcooked it slightly.
Now, I would like to believe what you just said, Shaurya, because that tree that we have on the right of our screen, the dry tree, that has given a lot of players fits. Those scraggly branches seem innocuous. As I said, trees are 80% air, but this one, even without its leaves, has some serious bite. And it's found quite a few golf balls crashing in.
Yeah, the 13th, probably one of the shortest par 5s that you'll ever see, measuring only 496 yards. So, player would be remiss if they don't make a birdie, but has a little bit of bite. First, you have to get that drive. You see those two trees over there? You have to place it ideally between them. I'd say not much difficulty. You have out of bound on the left-hand side, but you have ample elbow room to hit a draw from the right. So not really in play on the first or the second shot as we go to hole number 14, the par 3. Then towards the left-hand side, and that's quite an errant shot right there on hole number 14.
Indeed, and I believe the bunker will also now be in play, and he's clearly short-sighted himself.
It's, from the group of Anshul Kavatyal, Gaurav Pratap Singh, and K. Prabhakaran. I think that appeared to be K. Prabhakaran off the team. Not quite certain. As you have a look at hole number 13. We've got about 6 holes left, and things are hotting up here at Chandigarh Golf Club for the Trident Open 2025. A victor will emerge, and at this point in time, there are quite a few players who want their hands on that trophy. Manu Gandas, Shubham Janglan, Yuvraj Sandhu, Manoj S, the youngster, the three of them tied together.
A quick word, of course, about our sponsor, the Trident Group, the title sponsor. First-time sponsor for professional golf and PGTI in India. So definitely adding to the growth and support for golf. Trident Limited is the flagship company of the Trident Group. It's an Indian business conglomerate and a go global player headquartered in Ludhiana. It is vertically integrated with textile, that's yarns, bath, bed linen, paper. They manufacture all of that. Trident towels, yarns, bed sheets. You'll see them in a lot of hotels. I have personally as well. Top quality product. And of course, it's one of the largest players in home textiles in the country. So thank you, Trident Group, the PGTI, and Indian golf enthusiasts remain grateful to you for your support to golf in India.
Now back to the action. Almost out of view here. There's a little bit of a trough there, and he's lucky to have found his ball in a good spot because there is a hazard as well there. So he at least has a decent life from what it appears.
You're right, Shaurya, and I think he's just in the right spot. He has a bit of a swing because if it had been a little up further, he would have had the trees or the branches on his backswing as well.
And there's ample green to work with, so I think all in all, things could be a lot worse.
Seems to play it quite now. Oh, wow!
That is
whoa! That is
a freight train going off its tracks, and that's what can happen in golf. You've hit a brilliant tee shot, but in the blink of an eye now, he will be struggling to make par, and I think that's probably the beauty of this green. It's slippery, and that bunker definitely comes into play.
Yeah.
Jamal here is
actually chipping, making an eagle chip, I would imagine.
a little curtailed, and that tells you that he's being a little conservative. That wasn't the ideal free-flowing shot. And we have a look at Akshay, who's hit an absolute beauty. What a shot right
that
there!
That was very nice. Great hands, and Shaurya, you can also have a look at yourself. You're on the split screen.
Yes, we indeed are, my friend. We indeed are. But of course, it's all about the players and the viewers. And for our viewers, I implore you to please do follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, so on and so forth. There's so many places that you can follow the golf, and even head on over to www.pgtofindia.com. Your favorite players, the schedules, and it's just a treasure trove. And you can even book your tickets as well on quite a few sites to watch our players, our champions, and of course our legends.
Well, it's a very good addition that the PGTI has opened up tickets for golf enthusiasts to purchase tickets on bookmyshow.com and get across the golf course and catch the action.
Yeah, now this is going to be a difficult shot. We'll really need to open the club face here and get under it. We saw him hit a similar shot in 10, but that rolled ahead. So let's see if he's able to get some purchase on this one. We'll need that. Doesn't have much green. Steep bunker. And again, you see that I can see what's happening with Varun. He's got an impeccable long game, brilliant iron striker, good putter, but seems that he has a few woes when it comes to the game around the green. At least these few weeks we're seeing that.
No, he has been struggling with the flat stick. I was having a little conversation with him. I've known him pretty much his entire life from a junior golfer till where he is at now. And he was, mentioning that he's just been struggling with the putter. He feels he's stroking them well. He feels he's aligned right, but somehow just doesn't seem to find the bottom of the cup often enough. And that's been something that's been frustrating him.
Yeah, it's almost a cascading effect that can happen. You hit a great drive, and then you're disappointed with your second. You find yourself in a gnarly lie, and then you're sort of getting down in yourself. You sort of get out of a process, and you're not quite there in the present. You're just a split second of regret, and that's all that it takes. It's a very fine line in golf, I tell you that much. So that shot, and then you go in the bunker, so it's still, there are these past shots that are weighing on you, and that can have a little bit of an effect. And of course, it's not the easiest bunker shot either from there, so let's hope that he can make that par with that putt. Varun Parekh currently at 1 under par, still in red numbers, and
but this one is to stay at 1 under par. Of course, after Hussain putts, then we'll see probably
Jamal, one of the players who's been a picture of consistency on the Professional Golf Tour of India. He's week in, week out. He's a winner as well.
And he has a tremendous shot game. Great chipping and putting, of course. This wasn't one of his best efforts.
Also a very proficient strike, I'll tell you. He's not the longest off the tee, but he's got it on a rope each and every time. Very repeatable.
It's really nice to see the amount of friends coming across from Bangladesh to play on the PGTI. He's made that.
Look at that.
Center cup.
That never left the cup.
Great work by a cameraman as well. Excellent angle, and we could follow it all the way through.
He's got a nifty game. Gaurav Pratap Singh has just eagled hole number 13 after an unfortunate double on hole number 12. So that's how you react to adversity, by not wilting but shining. And he's done pretty well there. An eagle after a bogey on 11 and 12. So he was able to stem the rot.
Well, that said, Shubham Jaglan has birdied 12 as well now. So he's moved up to 7 under. Look at the screen at the bottom right side. Things are getting very active here. We just spoke about Shubham, and there he's delivered.
And Akshay Sharma, our co-leader from day 2, who was at 6 under par. Now this to get within 1 of the leader. This would break a little bit from his left. Not the most difficult putt. He's pretty good with these. Let's see if he can make it on this. Okay, I think he's left it to the right, and that was...
No. That was an important putt, because with that, he would have also moved to 7 under and joined Shubham, Yuvraj and Manoj S.
Yeah,
that was an important putt.
Yeah, that was definitely not.
And he knows that. He's gone back there. He's looking at what could have been. Probably took a wrong line. Double guessing that.
Yeah, a little bit of anguish, a little bit of ecstasy, and that for you, ladies and gentlemen, is not just life, it's golf. Golf is just a microcosm of life, and currently those thoughts are far away from this young man's mind. He's a winner already on the Professional Golf Tour of India, Varun Parekh, now putting for his par. This should break a little from his right. And the putt is underway, and unfortunately...
he knows he's let that go.
That's,
For these guys to be making a bogey in a par 5, they all have to be very disappointed, because the length that they hit it, and the fact that some of these par 5s are really at their length and strength, just long par 4s. He knows he's given away not one, but...
Gift yourself the red carpet treatment with luxurious 100% cotton bed sheets. My Trident, where luxury finds home.
What a great shot! But he looks tired. And that's a drinks break.
But what's the plus sign for? अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस। जब लगे थकान वाली प्यास, जरूरी है सेल लेवल हाइड्रेशन। इसके इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स आपके सेल्स को रिहाइड्रेट करें, एनर्जी लौटाएं, थकान वाली प्यास मिटाएं।
जब आपको भी लगे थकान वाली प्यास, अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस, थकान वाली प्यास के लिए। पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
And Shubham, of course, also tied with them at 7 under, just in the group ahead. So it's all happening right here in the last couple of groups. No one ahead has really been able to get onto a tear and go super low today.
Akshay Sharma also pretty much in the thick of things, only 2 behind. So I'd say at this point in time, all the players at 5, Kushal, K. Prabhakaran. Kushal having made another birdie, so good. As we have a look at Manoj on hole number 12, this putt will break to the left.
Also,
and,
but that said, he didn't really seem to learn a lot from Manu, because he didn't even come within an inch and a half of the hole.
Yeah, that definitely seems to be a miscue rather than a misread. I think it...
just didn't give it enough. or probably because of the speed of the green, he kind of just
Yeah, from there it looks a lot faster than
Faster
it is
than it is.
because
Yes.
it's a rather steep slope. You're always looking almost at a 15-degree gradient, so the player expects the ball to get there. But of course, the greens this week are not the fastest they've been. As Yuvraj contemplates this putt, Yuvraj Sandhu making par on 10-11, so getting off to a decent start on the tricky 10th as it's proven to be. You've seen even Manu and Shubham Jaglan making bogeys on 10. So we were speaking about that a while ago that the 10th is proving to be a little bit of an Achilles heel for the field.
Yeah,
And,
we've seen a lot of bogeys on that hole, blue numbers on the scorecard.
now this putt, by logic, it should break from left, but I'm not quite certain if it'll have such a considerable amount of break.
My
And
God.
it did.
It moved a
it
lot.
did. It,
My
so
God.
there is.
That's a costly miss for you, Raj.
You're looking at 3 miscues.
And that's a bogey. So he drops back to 6 under.
So you're looking at 3 miscues, and everybody has underread, including myself. I thought Yuvraj's putt is not going to break that much, so not quite sure. Maybe the way the grain is growing, surprising for all of them to have.
And now on screen we have Shubham Jaglan on the par 5, 13th.
Interesting pre-shot routine with
Yes.
one hand, just trying to feel the bounce of the club doing its job, and that's something that our viewers can take away.
Well, it's been interesting seeing Shubham, growing from a junior golfer, a child prodigy, his entire history. Before he left for college golf, he was trained by the legendary Nonita Lal Qureshi, a dear friend, and herself a very accomplished golfer. And wow, sure, it wasn't a pre-shot routine; it was the routine. What was that?
It's the first time that I've seen that. Maybe I'm a little too late to the party. I'm not quite certain if he does it all the time, but definitely did do it this time. So
Yeah, we've seen our friend from Uganda, Joshua Seal, do that as well. He chips and pitches with one hand. The first time I've seen Shubham do that. That's very interesting.
yeah, I think I didn't know it either. I'm pretty certain he didn't just cook that up. That's maybe how he hits a few of his chip shots, just to maybe eliminate some of the uncertainty, or he's working on something. I don't quite have the answer this time, Shivas. I myself was a little blindsided by
Both
that.
quite flummoxed by that.
Yeah.
Because we definitely didn't see that coming.
That definitely came out of the left field if we talk about football terminology. So, yeah. Maybe-
Shaurya Bhattacharya on screen. He's at 4 under for the tournament.
Let's see if
He's had a terrific season, hasn't he?
Yeah, Shaurya would have gotten a little bit of a read off of Shubham's chip shot, so you'll know that.
Well, more in terms of speed, because in terms of line, Shubham's was quite a bit offline.
Yes, this, in all fairness, might be an eagle putt for Shaurya.
It is. That's what the screen says as well. You're right.
I would break a little bit to the right.
An eagle here could bring him right into the mix. Because
Yeah.
from 4, he'd just jump to 6 under.
Yeah, that definitely be a way to throw your hat in the ring, metaphorically speaking.
Well, for our viewers, young Shaurya Bhattacharya is coached by our co-commentator Rahul Bajaj.
Surprising that that ball has stayed a good 6 feet short. I thought he'd have that dialed in, but I think speed is something that the players have struggled with this week.
And we see them a lot on the downhill putts as well, because I think they sense from their past experience, the way they're viewing it, that it's going to be a lot quicker, but it just seems to come up short and break less.
Yeah, so you've seen the players struggle on the greens, and let's have a look at some of the players who haven't struggled thus far. We have Kushal Singh from Gurugram at 3 under for the day. And then you also have Ravi Kumar 2 under par. You have Om Prakash Chauhan, former number 1. And you have Enthanga Raja, the winner on tour multiple times. He's at 4 under par at 12. Sanjeev Kumar, 2 under for the day. Jujhar Singh, 2 under for the day. Then you also have MDF Percent. So quite a few red numbers today, but still few.
A big putt coming up. Shubham to join the lead. Birdie putt.
This should break a little from his left. Very conventional in the way that he plays golf, apart from the one-handed chip.
Well, has he made it? No. There again. Seems to have not read it at all.
It's really benefiting from his time in the States, doing wonders for his game. You can see his physicality as well. I remember him as a young man, but of course he's put on a lot of strength and muscle, and you can see that transfers onto great ball striking, and that really lends itself well to the long game.
No, he's certainly come a long way, and he did have an injury scare with a stress fracture in his back about 4 or 5 years ago when he was just turning over from a junior golfer to an amateur, young amateur, and he was off the tour for almost a year to take care of his back, did his physio treatments, and that's something which I enjoyed, seeing that he didn't rush back to the game. A birdie putt there.
Very assertive from MD Azhar, right in the heart. And let's not count him out either. He's a 3 under par now. So he's 4 under rather. So he's also only 4 behind. So
Yeah, lots can happen. Get a couple more birdies, and he throws himself right in the mix.
16, 17, 18. 16 is definitely a birdie opportunity. 17th as well. 18th can go either ways, but you rarely see drop shots on 18 with unless the drive is really not in the fairway. Shaurya now after that eagle attempt. This is a birdie putt.
Very important putt to take him to 5 under for the day.
Yeah, I think he has to make this if he has to try and win this tournament. Otherwise, it'll be maybe
Too much left for too late. Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
bridge too far. And
Circles in. Well done.
Yeah, that's a nice result for Shaurya.
Well, my friend, the little birdie's on the right doing his bale.
Yeah, so perfect companion for a good birdie.
So, quick word while we have a lovely aerial shot of the course about our other tour partners. Victorious Choice, an entity that believes in the joy of giving, and it is a unicorn in the financial sector. Mumbai based, supporting the tour all year, and all the lovely player lounges with a delicious spread of food from breakfast to lunch coming from Victorious Choice and our good friend Rahul Mehta. Thank you, Rahul and Team Victorious Choice, for all you do for Indian golf. And then, of course, we have IndusInd Bank. That has been redefining banking for the past 30 years and has been a force to reckon with. IndusInd Bank serves approximately 42 million customers through 3,063 branches and 2,993 ATMs. That's our leaderboard. It's all happening right here at the gorgeous Chandigarh Golf Club. Manu Gandas at 8 under in the lead, followed closely by Shubham Jaglan and Manoj S. Manoj S at 17 years and 7 months. Quite the youngster. And chasing his first title on tour. It's his first year on tour, and he's been doing exceedingly well. This young man has a bright future.
Back to hole number 14, the par 3. We have a look at Shubham Jaglan. After that par on hole number 13. This will give us a great view into his swing. The flag is the center left. Very good lines, very athletic setup, very conventional.
There you have it. Fire it into the green.
That's
Sensible
a brilliant
play.
shot. 20 feet right of the flag. Great effort by Shubham there.
So that's really, really very sensible play for a young man, 21 years old. And would you believe it that at 21, he is 4 years senior to the man he is tied with, Manoj S. So golf clearly, the narrative has flipped. It's a young man's game. All of our young players, fearless, strong, athletic. Mohammad Azhar now on the tee. Let's see what he's got. He's coming off a solid birdie on the 13th hole. We saw that fist pump as he left the green.
Yeah, this also is a flag that is more amenable for a draw. And that's a shot that Manoj, my apology, that MD Other hits pretty well. So let's see how he does this time.
Whoa. That came out a bit hot.
That's a little tricky lie there between a tuft of grass.
And it just bounded away. It landed pretty much very close to Shubham's ball and just took off.
Yeah, he doesn't have the same rate of compression that Shubham has. So, that it doesn't generate the same amount of spin. So obviously, and I think that might have been a club too much, or
Likely,
yeah, he's
likely.
pitched it flag high. I would have wanted to pitch it somewhere towards the front center of the green.
I beg your pardon. This is Shubham Jaglan. I think previously on the frame we had
Shaurya
Shaurya Bhattacharya.
Yeah,
Shubham
that's
stuck it left. It's the bunker.
yeah, that's why pencils have erasers, and
And a producer might have the mute button for me.
that's so only one on the green, and this bunker definitely coming into play. So a little too aggressive from Shubham, and he'll have to contend. And we've seen that the bunkers have not been that easy either. It's a different kind of sand you have here. You can't really spin it from the bunkers here in Chandigarh, and the greens as well, owing to the speed. So you're not able to get much purchase of the greens either from the fairway or from the bunkers. So it's important to try and hit as many greens here that you can, or miss it in the right places. As we have a look at Yuvraj.
Striding down. Strong lad, purposeful stride. He needs to make something happen. Very important at this point for him.
Yeah, he's currently at two behind.
Yeah, he's a 6 under after that bogey where he missed that putt that both of us and Yuvraj misread.
Yeah, that green was perplexing to say the least. None of the players able to.
A quick word about our other tour partner, Amrutanjan Electro. The water is essential for life. Dehydration occurs when your body loses more fluids than you take in, and that's when Amrutanjan Electro comes to our aid. It's a juice-based electrolyte drink offered for the first time in India in a very convenient PET bottle. It rehydrates, energizes, and helps to regain the electrolytes lost in sport, exercise, travel, and hot weather.
Manu now on hole number 13.
Yeah, that's definitely his third shot. It's a pitch to the green as he
that-
tucked it in tight.
I think he's tugged it left, if I'm not wrong. I'm not quite certain of that ball. So,
Yeah. That couldn't have been much more than about 70, 80 yards, I imagine.
but difficult shot nevertheless, because he's coming out of the rough, and this green is about
It's a huge green, yes.
20 feet above the surface level of the fairway. He's left it short.
And Yuvraj, dare I say, very similar spot to where we saw Varun about 10, 15 minutes back.
I tell you, they can probably put a cot and a chair there. That place is seeing a lot of traffic. I tell you that much. Yeah, seems to be the favored spot for a lot of our long hitters. Maybe trying to attack that flag and turn it right to left on the second shot, and getting a little bit too much curvature, and just pitch it left and then it bounces to the left. So,
And like Varun, he's also, I think, fortunate enough to have just ended up at that precise point where there's no impediment or interference with the backswing.
that's how good these players are. Even when they're bad, they're
They're
good.
still good. Well, on this very happy note, I'm going to welcome back my colleague and friend Rahul Bajaj.
But this lie that Varun has, my apologies, Yuvraj has procured is not too bad. The ball is sitting up, so should be able to get it fairly close. And that needs to steady now. Doesn't need to get in the bunker. So he's almost a similar ending to the one that Varun had from the same place. So I think there the ball sort of rolls a lot more out of the thicket.
There's definitely a makeable putt, I would say. It comes back uphill. It's a bit slow. And let's see how my friend Rahul Bajaj reads this one.
Thank you, Shivas and Shaurya. What do you think is going to happen from here on? We've got very interesting stuff happening for sure, but on hole number 13, the par 5, and things from here are only going to be heating up. So I asked a question to Shivas some time back, and Shivas didn't answer that. He kind of just dodged it and moved side. And what do you think is going to be the winning score from here on? The needle's not moved, though.
Yeah, I think we're a little late to the party. We used to do it at the start of the third round, but I think at this time it's safe to say I think can get to 10 under par. I think 10 under par will be the winning score. There are a few birdie holes, but maybe I'm a little too optimistic. Maybe 9 under. I'll play safe and say 9 under par.
You always played safe, haven't you?
Well, I thought it was. Let's have a look at that putt. I I thought it was just about my prediction and not about insults, but either ways, we'll roll with the punches here.
But quite the misread here for Manoj. No, it wasn't an insult, but you just favor the chip out, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. No guts, no glory. But that is a little bit of an underread.
I think a bit of an underread would be a wee bit of an understatement. I think that one's gone off like 6 feet right of the hole. So either it's a complete misread or maybe just a complete miscue by him.
We've seen that on the last few greens that the players have been under-reading the break and missing it on the lower side. And is that a factor of the speed of the greens, or why is it happening now? We've seen players, even if it's a right-left putt or left-right, they're always missing it on the lower side. Not quite certain why that is.
But I think that certainly would be due to underreading and coupled in with the speed. So I think in totality, it sort of just leads to that. It's not one thing or the other. And also, I think, coming into the final few holes, the shots between the players are very, very less. So the pressure is there on plenty much, all of them. So, those nerves also could be playing a tiny bit of a part here.
Yes, it's all adding up here in the beautiful city. The Tri-City, as it's called. So we're playing the Trident Open at the Tri-City. And the tournament offers a prize fund of 1 crore with approximately 15 lakh going to the winners. We're, of course, playing for pride. We're playing for love. We're playing for glory. But some currency never hurts. As we have a look at Manu Gandas on hole number 13. He's hit his third shot. He was about 70 odd yard shot. Then his approach shot to here. Now it's about 30 feet downhill, breaking from left to right. Not many have been able to get this right. Let's see if he can finally get it correct. I think he has.
Wow.
And has he ever? What a beautiful putt by Manu. Now that's the time. That's how you get to the party. He was, the pursuers were getting a little too close. He said, not today, my dear friends. I'm going to move to 9 under par.
Absolutely. And, the patience that he's showing, and it's very much in his Zen-like demeanor that we've been talking about all this while. When he's out there on the golf course, the kind of patience that he exhibits while hitting shots or while making those decisions is quite phenomenal. Let's take a look now at Yuvraj.
Yeah, very zen, very stoic. Reminds me a little bit of the book that I've been reading, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I think he'd be proud of what Manu Gandas is turning into, a stoic.
You've really been going inwards, my friend.
Yeah, looking in is the new looking out. As you have a look at Yuvraj with this birdie putt. Should break a little from right to left. And has he got it?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So Yuvraj.
What you can do, I can do as well. Fight fire with fire, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you get on the Professional Golf Tour of India. We're not talking about pars here. That's passe. We're talking about birdie eagles.
Absolutely. And I think the par game is really the game of the past, Shaurya. Now, in today's day and age, in 2025, golf is all about making birdies and eagles. Par is a given. Like, the pro has to make a par. Dropping shots is pretty much like a crime out here.
Yeah, it's unfortunately we've committed quite a few of those crimes. Not these players on screen, especially this youngster. Oh, that's definitely not what the doctor ordered. When everybody else is making a birdie, you can't do that.
That's going to be expensive.
It's going to be expensive.
Manoj.
Yeah, it's gonna.
And I think more so, when we say expensive over here, it's not really from the monetary terms, but it's from that getting that first win. That being that close to winning your first event, and that's what's the expensive part around here that we're talking about.
My prediction might get thrown out the window. I thought 9, but Manu's going hammer and tongs with that brilliant birdie. He moves to 9, so a few birdie opportunities on the par 5-16 for him. He's, of course, that hole is reachable for him with his length of the tee, and 17th as well. So maybe he can get to double digits here, and he's very versatile off the tee as well. It's Manu, but you see he's going towards the left hand side, so he's opting to hit a draw to this flag, which is towards the left-hand side of the green.
The spin is 18 in and 5 from the left today on this hole. And as apprised by a friend of mine in Chandigarh, he mentions that the top tier of this green has now been relayed by new grass, with new grass. So let's see what Manu does over here. And definitely with a new layout of grass on the top shelf, that should definitely give the players a better roll of the golf ball.
Yeah, that might be one of the reasons we've seen balls really bounding on. So it's almost like tarmac when a green is just freshly set. So that could be one of the reasons. You want to pitch it perfect, and this looks like it's having right-left movement for sure. And he's done pretty well. You see that that's the difference. We've seen a few balls pitch there, roll almost to the back of the green, but of course with a solid heavy hit, the ball really does spin on the greens.
This is another thing, right? Like placing yourself in a position where you give yourself an opportunity for a putt. It's not like it's a birdie fest out there, right? So he doesn't need to attack flags. So I think patience is really the name of the game around here.
Yeah, now UV here after that birdie. Sizable gallery here. They do love their sport, and especially golf in Chandigarh. So many members, and now with the viewership open to the general public, more so thanks to the ticketing concept that we have now. They can meet our legends and so much more. So it really does make for exciting viewing here.
Well, while we were talking, Shubham Jaglan has dropped a shot and moved off to 6 under par. There are 2 shots separating Manu and Yuvraj as well as Manoj now. Let's take a look at Yuvraj. Yuvraj can really employ a nice draw over here and attack this flag pretty well.
That's looking good. Is it ever? That's looking good. I mean, good is an understatement. This man is a ball striking machine, ladies and gentlemen. An ideal soft draw. And didn't really bound off either. Controlled soft draw. He has a lot of shots in his arsenal. I'll tell you that much.
And superb control of the yardage over there, hitting that near about perfectly, as good as it can be. Just about 6 feet now for birdie for him. Manoj S to follow suit.
Let's see how the youngster can bounce back from that adversity. Anything inside 20 feet is brilliant, I'd say. And he also hits the ball really well. It stays hit when he hits it. It indeed does. It indeed does.
Wow.
And I'll tell you one thing.
One better than the other.
You just, if you ever needed a statement, you don't need to talk. You need your clubs to do the talking. And if your clubs don't talk, then you do commentary. But I'll tell you that much, that for this young man, I mean, I'm so impressed. This is how you come back from a bogey. That was almost a hole in one. My apologies. This is how you come back from a missed putt.
Passion can be soft, comfortable, and good looking. My Trident, my love for home.
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है मुश्किल खड़ी है खोले सीना सामने चट्टान है मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद.
What a great shot! But he looks tired. And that's a drinks break.
But what's the plus sign for? अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस. जब लगे थकान वाली प्यास, जरूरी है सेल लेवल हाइड्रेशन. इसके इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स आपके सेल्स को रिहाइड्रेट करें, एनर्जी लौटाएं, थकान वाली प्यास मिटाएं.
जब आपको भी लगे थकान वाली प्यास, अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस. थकान वाली प्यास के लिए.
You've seen 2 of the best shots that we've seen on this flag. What absolute beauties, I must say. I thought that was a spade.
Well, is this where things are
ace
going to
on a
turn around on this par 3? Not the easiest hole on the course, though, and not the easiest flag location as well. Things could totally be getting interesting from here on, if they haven't already been.
We've only seen a handful of birdies, I think 4 up till now, and looks like it's going to be 6 if Yuvraj can make that putt. for the youngster Manoj. That was the closest you can get to a hole in one.
Absolutely. I think the ball just lost legs. Otherwise, it was pretty much on line as well. I think he's going in for a tap in. Wants to clean it up and move aside. Leave the dance floor open for Manu and Yuvraj. There we have Manoj S. With that scintillating birdie after that superb tee shot on the par 3 14th. Moves to 8 under par, 1 within the leader, as Manu himself now pots for a birdie to move to 10 under par.
You know, that's definitely a change that we've seen over the last few years on the professional golf tour of India. That obviously the standard is escalated a lot. But what you're seeing is that some of these flags, like probably this one, it's fraught with danger. There's a bunker, probably 10 yards left. In years past, you might have seen players a little more conservative, maybe draw it off the center of the green and get it to about 10-15 feet. Now they're a lot more direct because the control is so much better.
Shaurya, what's really commendable about both these tee shots is the fact that right over this green, which is hardly 4 or 5 yards plus from where the flag is today, it's a really tough up and down to make for this flag location. The green just runs away from you right as the ball goes past the flag from the back edge.
Yeah, brilliant. So Manoj would move to 8 under par, and maybe in all likelihood Yuvraj would as well. Manu Gandas, unless he can sprinkle some more of that stardust, in all likelihood might make par, but you never know, make another birdie. So I think they're getting really interesting. Shubham, of course, dropping a shot here on the par 3. Kushal Singh really coming to the fore. Just 2 holes more, maybe just make another birdie and post to 6 under par. Of course, I think that's still a bridge too far, but I think as if my memory serves me right, this would be his best finish on the professional golf tour of India, and really that'd be something for him.
100%, and a brilliant bogey-free round at that so far. So hopefully 2 more holes to go, another birdie if he can, and that'll be absolutely brilliant. And
let's have a look at Manu here. Uphill putt, maybe all of 25 feet. Right at the end, should break a little bit to his left. Very unique putting setup, narrow stance. Decent putt. So will make his par and remain at 9 under par.
Well, as the day proceeds, local lad Akshay Sharma, who led the way in this tournament about 18 holes ago, has dropped off to 4 under par now. So his battle for the title seems to have really lost pace over here. Let's take a look now at Yuvraj Sandhu putting for birdie, move to 8 under par, tie alongside Manoj S. To whom would you have your money on, Shaurya?
It's difficult. It's almost like a toss of the coin at this point. They're also good. They're all winners. Of course, the young man Manoj is not a winner, but I mean, let that not fool you. He's playing like a seasoned, blooded champion. I mean, he's really good. So, at this point, it's just a coin toss. I think this putt would determine. I think now with Yuvraj being 1 shot back and making 2 birdies on the trot. But Manu is also such a great front runner. He doesn't quite move. I'd say maybe Manu. I've never seen him feel a case of nerves. So maybe a playoff, 3-way playoff. You never know. What about you?
I'm a guy for the underdog, so I'll go with Manoj over here. I'm hoping that he actually hits a couple more good shots and gets a few more birdies in and makes things a lot more interesting. And we'll have another young winner over here.
Looks fairly straightforward for him. The way that he hit this shot would have been probably a 7-iron to the center flag for him, and I mean that came down with absolute precision, laser guided, GPS tracker enabled ball right, 1 foot right of the flag. It doesn't get any better than that. I wish we could see a rerun of that. It was an absolute beauty.
Manoj with a superb birdie there, Yuvraj with a birdie there, and Manu, of course, with a prudent par.
It's on hole number 15.
This is the group of Mohammad Azhar, Shaurya Bhattacharya, and Shubham Jaglan.
This flag again, right at the front, But you think helps the players a little bit because sort of curtails the length of the hole a little bit. You maybe get a shorter club in.
I think the only thing that I think the front flag does is kind of almost takes the birdie out of play, though. You can't really get it very close. What a
That's
brilliant shot.
very well done. You saw that he was able to get some spin on it as well.
Terrific. He just sort of bumped that into the edge of the green and let it release up after that.
Yeah, not just the long game. The players have been working a lot on the intricate parts of the game. The game around the green has been pretty dialed in for all these players.
And Shubham Jaglan from the front edge of the green going with a putter. That's quite not the choice I would have expected him to make, though.
Yeah, depending on the lie, maybe he's opted to go with the putter. I think it's worked out pretty well.
Yep, he's come up just about shy of it. It's not as he expected. He's a wee bit disappointed from his reaction. But I think this front flag over here, Shaurya, does kind of take out the birdie from play. I mean, if the birdie is going to come in on this hole for anyone, it's going to come from a 20-footer or a 15-footer putt. It's not really going to come from like a 6-footer.
Yeah, because it's almost impossible to pitch it and stop it. And they'll pitch it short, it'll stay short. And if you pitch it on the green, it'll go past. So, very difficult flag.
The hole kind of becomes quite tough because, except for the longer hitter who can cut the corner and really, bludgeon one down at about 150 or 140 yards towards the green.
I'm surprised. I'm just trying to think of hole number 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. A lot of front flags.
Yes.
A lot of front flags which are rather precociously close to the front edge. So difficult to make birdies on that one. Now, for his par, maybe about 3 feet, give or take.
I think just about over that, yes, about that much.
The hole is somewhere there, covered by his shadow. Works out well for him.
Well, he could see it.
That's all that matters, that the ball ends up there. Really, the players are reeling off birdie after birdie on this very difficult track, Chandigarh Golf Club. One of the most daunting courses here. We've played so much golf, a course with so much history, of course, so many champions that have emerged from here. And, as you rightly stated, it's a place from where a lot of good golfers germinate. It's a breeding ground of talent. And of course, look at that. I think that's the first time I'm seeing that view thanks to the drone. It's really mesmerizing. You can see the Sukna Lake.
Those would be the Moni Hills at the back, isn't it, Shaurya?
You say it, I go along with it.
I think so. I
Yeah.
think there's Moni Hills, and then there's, of course, the Kasoli and
Yeah, the
and
Kasoli is a
Shil-
little further down, but these are, if you're looking towards Panchkula, I think, these are the Moni Hills, and a lot of greenery is what you don't quite realize when you're playing golf now that you see it from a different vantage point. It is really a sight to behold. As you have a look at Jamal, he's a wizard of the short game. And of course, a little unconventional.
Jamal on the par 5, 16th hole, trying to hold on to a top 10 finish here, coming off 2 bogeys on the 14th and the 15th. Jamal Hussain Maula from Bangladesh at 3 under par, tied at 10th right now.
Always has that customary sort of reaction after hitting it. It's a good shot, 4 feet. I'd like to welcome into the commentary booth Mr. Shivasnath to take you through the next few holes as we have a look at Varun as well here at hole number 16.
Welcome back, Shivas. Shivas Nath, ladies and gentlemen, comes in all the way from Mumbai. The only thing about Bombay that stands out other than the vada paws.
Well, thank you for that awesome welcome. And I was kind of missing that. That's not how either of you welcomed me in yesterday. So thank you for that. Quite a few friends actually have a long and strong laugh about that. And I don't mind that at all.
Next time, I think I want to come out some from Chowpatty.
It's always the kulfi or the pav bhaji there, I can tell you that.
Super shot here by Varun Parekh. Probably his third shot onto this 16th hole. And definitely Jamal Hussain there in 3, setting himself up for a very realistic birdie opportunity. Shaurya Bhattacharya now moving into 5th position with a birdie on the 13th hole at 5 under par. And Manu Gandas leading the way at 9 under, of course.
So things definitely getting very, very interesting here, and now we're getting very close to the finale, the last 3 or 4 holes where there's a lot of action to be had. The 16th, the par 5, the birdies are up there. Nice, tricky little pin position as we see on our screen, guarded by the mound. Oh my God, we thought that was in.
In all the way, Shivas.
There was never a doubt in my mind that that wasn't in.
And that was really turning into the hole, right?
Right.
And it just suddenly just lips out.
That was indeed surprising.
You think Varun and Akshay had a bit of a conversation about clothing and just left Jamal out?
It looks like that. But certainly, I particularly enjoy the pink that Jamal's got on. Very nice, very vibrant, standing out.
Jamal has been one of the front runners of golf from Bangladesh. And since his senior Siddiqur Rahman, definitely Jamal is the one who's been flying their flag really high.
So things definitely heating up. You have Manu Gandas at 9 under, Yuvraj and Manoj S at 7 each. Shubham with that bogey on the par 3 14th has dropped to 6 under, and then right behind him, Rahul, is your student, Shaurya Bhattacharya.
Let's take a look now at Jamal, who has drained that one in quite nonchalantly.
That should be a birdie, and as Shaurya referenced, or was it you, that he needs this to hold on to a top 10 finish. So a lot of activity, markers being moved around. So definitely Akshay going to go to school on Varun's putt.
Varun Parekh, a former winner on the tour, and really is also one of the longer hitters out there. Not having his best showing today. Currently at even par for the tournament. No trouble here. Varun Parekh drains that one in from about 4 feet.
He's got a bit of a crowd that's obviously encouraged him, and he waved back. Very classy. But definitely having a bit of a struggle out there today.
Akshay Sharma now. After that little lip out, very unexpected one.
Varun, of course, at even par for the tournament. Very interesting setup from Akshay. The ball certainly not below the suggested eye line, as you know, most golfing pundits and gurus would say. That was definitely a few inches outside the eye line.
A long hole, the 16th over here, the par 5. One of the toughest holes to get 2 on.
577 yards, if I'm not mistaken, as per the scorecard. That's long. But the 7th, I believe, is even longer at over 600, 613 or 615, something like that.
Yes, the 7th, of course, doesn't get over. But, the thing about the 7th is that it's a 3-shot hole. But on the 16th, it's one of those holes where you're trying to muscle 2 into the green. Let's have a look now at Mohammad Azhar coming up from the fairway here.
Is
on the
he a
16th
driver
hole.
off the fairway? It looks like a big head.
Well, perhaps is.
Yep.
Looking at his bump and run on that previous hole, he certainly could be hitting anything. Look at the crowds over there, back on the 15th hole. What brilliant showing here.
Oh my! And
Coming
Azhar
in
gives it a
full form.
full heave ho. He really put everything into that. You could see that.
Shaurya Bhattacharya also coming in from the fairway. Dropped a shot on this hole yesterday. Let's see what he does here today.
Referencing the crowds that you see on the course, and that's exactly what a golf-loving city like Chandigarh would love to expect. A good golf tournament, a great contest. They follow their favorite golfers, and there's no surprise that's the reason. There are a bunch of great golfers that emerge from within the Tri-City, Chandigarh, Mohali, and Panchkula. And they've got such a great, not just a golfing tradition, but even a sporting tradition. Our very own president of the PGTI, Kapil Dev, hails from Chandigarh.
Pin today on the 16th is 7 in and 4 from the left, so pretty tight pin position. Another one on the front part. Let's see if Shaurya Bhattacharya can get this one up onto the putting surface in 2. Going with a 3-wood off the fairway.
He spared nothing on that.
It should be nearly about 280 or 290 yards away, I think.
And he really gave it the full treatment.
That's the only way to do it at this point. It doesn't seem like he's quite happy with that shot. Unfortunately, we'll have to wait to see where he's landed himself up.
Now the homeboy, Yuvraj Singh.
That's a big drive by Yuvraj, if that is his drive. And there we've got Ajitesh Sandhu's father also there back in the crowds. We've seen him walking with Ajitesh through the years. I think Ajitesh is playing in an international tournament this week. That certainly should be third shot for Yuvraj. Drive certainly wouldn't come that far.
And he's hit it fairly tight. Seems to be about 5 feet, just on the left side of our screen, extreme left side of our screen.
Yes.
And that would be a handy putt to make.
Should be a par putt here for Yuvraj. Bit of a downhill right to lefter, but a very good shot from that, about 50, 60 yards away from the whole location. And that front flag definitely making it tough to stop the ball as quickly as possible, as we spoke about that a while back. There we are back with that drone shot, the aerial view of this beautiful golf course. This is the 15th hole, by the way. So this is exactly where the leader group is right now. And that is Yuvraj Sandhu, as you can tell from his white pants.
No, the 15th is a really strong golf hole as well,
Manu Gandas
moves a bit right to left. And yeah, our leader, Manu Gandas.
staring that one down like a cheetah. I think he is just about on the green. Just looking at the line from there. Manoj, yes, from the right side of the green.
There you see in the center left half the structure. That's a very nice halfway house. Quick pit stop for refreshments for most club golfers and amateurs. Toilet break, whatever have you. Very well laid out. And for our viewers, you'll see on the top right of the screen the solitary tree that's in the middle of the fairway. I can assure you that gives a lot of players fits, because it does come into play if your drive doesn't get past it, and then you have to shape the ball around that to a fairly long hole.
Absolutely. If you leak out your drive just a wee bit, you're going to be stuck somewhere behind that tree, and then you'll have to hit somewhat of a speciality shot. Birdie putt here for Manu, our leader, currently at 9 under par. See if Manu can separate himself. He certainly needs to at this point of time, because we've got Yuvraj and Manu is really creeping up on him at this moment.
It looks like he's putting. He's on the green or just off the green, but he definitely looks like he's putting, right?
He's certainly putting. Ball should break a little bit from the left to the right. Has he got that? Oh, he's gone pretty aggressively on that.
Yes, he's hit it a bit past.
He'll have about
very similar to where Yuvraj is.
Yes,
got his marker as well.
I think 5 or 6 feet by the hole, but Manu is putting pretty much from a hole high location, while we have Yuvraj who's gone past the hole. So if we were to look at it from a clock's perspective, Yuvraj is pretty much at about 12 o'clock, while we have Manu at about 3 o'clock to the flag.
I must say the drones.
Actually, Yuvraj is off the green over here, and that's why his reaction. So that golf ball that we were assuming is his is actually not his.
Oh boy! Yeah, that looks like that's now left for bogey.
Yep. So that's going to be
another drop shot, and he's going to fall 2 behind Manu. But that said and done, Manu himself has a 5-footer to save par.
Well, that said and done, I'm interested to know if that is Manoj's birdie putt or his par putt. Because if that is his birdie putt, and he makes this one, We have an interesting 3 holes after this, Shivas.
It's certainly going to come down to a very exciting finish, if that be the case. I must say, I'm very impressed with the way Manoj has stayed in the hunt. He did have, after birdie on the par five second to start with, he obviously expanded his lead, and then he struggled a bit for the next couple of holes. But he's held it together, shown great maturity and temperament, and I'm very very impressed with this youngster.
Well, steadying up the ship is what is important. Let's take a look now at Manoj putting for par. Important putt, this one for Manoj.
Oh no, he has missed that. That could have been a very important putt to keep him at 8 under and in the hunt, because Yuvraj is going to drop one and now Manoj is going to drop one, and both of them are definitely going to end up at 7 under with just 3 holes to play.
This is like an unforced error of sorts. And we have Manu now. Manu himself has got about 5 or 6 feet for a par. So
This is
are these guys going to be getting
agonizingly-
Jaglan back into play? Is that what's going to happen over here?
Wow, yes, right. Well, Manu still is at 9 under, but if he makes this putt, that could definitely, be the
Look like
the big
one and
hammer.
done then.
Yeah, could be the big hammer, because that give him the comfort of a 2-shot lead over his 2 nearest pursuers.
Well, with the one important putt for Manoj, now this is one important putt for Manu.
There we have our PGTI president and CEO, Mr. Kapil Dev and Mr. Amandeep Johal, enjoying the action, and this is their home city as well, as we were talking about earlier.
Nice to see Kapil Dev out there watching over the players and looking at the best golfers in the country, battling it out here in his home club, his hometown.
No mistake there. Manu, the leader.
The stroke of authority
Makes
there from Manu.
You've been talking about his demeanor and his poise, and you're absolutely right. Just made it, walked off, no emotion, no fist pump. That said, of course, he knows absolutely how important that putt was, without question.
That pretty much is really the most important thing, right? How do you stay even keeled no matter what the golf course throws back at you? Let's take a look now at Manoj cleaning up for a 5 here. What do you think about his first putt? I think he actually putted that one pretty well. Probably a wee bit firmer than what he would have liked from that line. Solid.
You're absolutely right. The putt didn't move rather as much as he expected. I don't think he pushed it. I just believe he misread that putt.
I think it's probably just a hair firmer than what he would have liked, because it's a slight downhill. So if you just catch it a wee bit harder than what you want to, it might not just turn at all.
And now we have, of course, Yuvraj to clean up for bogey. He will be disappointed that he's just not been able to get it going today. A few too many bogeys and blemishes, unfortunately for him. Well done. Solid.
So now 2 shots separate Yuvraj and Manoj from Manu. So the 16th hole, the par 5, which is just coming up now, is going to be very important for both these players. It seems like there's an important chat happening between the CEO and the president of the PGTI. Amandeep on the left side in the lavender shirt, and of course Kapil Dev there in the jacket. And there we have our friend Harry Kung in the white hat, in blue jacket.
Yeah, Harry's been an old hand. He's also a certified referee, been a top amateur player. Still plies his trade a little bit on the AVT Champions Tour. And a regular at the All India Mid-Amateur and Seniors as well. Not a senior yet, but definitely still a older mid-amateur.
You haven't really spared him, have you? Older mid-amateur is what you just call him, like a veteran mid-amateur, is it?
More like my vintage. Well, I'm 54, turning 55, and can't wait to be in the All India Seniors next year.
Mohammad Azhar now on the 16th hole. I think we might have just missed what Bhattacharya and Jaglan have done over here. Let's take a look now at Azhar. Azhar is putting for par from about 8 feet away. Azhar with a very conventional kind of a setup of putting. Absolutely no trouble there. Mohammad Azhar rolling that one in beautifully for a par on the 16th.
So Manu Gandas, of course, 2 shots ahead, firmly putting himself in a good solid position. And yep, really it's on him now to stamp his authority, pick up another shot along the way, and let the others continue doing all the chasing.
Well, I think at this moment, one can be pretty certain that Manu has to just keep doing what he's doing and, hang in there, while Yuvraj and Manoj are the ones who have to force it.
A lot of fans of our president coming up, getting a selfie or 3. And that's just wonderful, the way Kapil Dev has carried the Indian flag proudly. Absolute cricketing legend, and we're also happy to have him at the helm of affairs for our PGTI golf tour.
A very fond golfer and a very good golfer at that. I think he plays off a handicap of 2 and does so very solidly. Very regular golfer here in the Delhi NCR region. Can really hold his own like a true athlete. There we have that leaderboard. Yuvraj Sandhu and Manoj S at 7 under, while Manu is at 9 under par, giving the view to the drone.
Here we have it. Spectators making their way around the golf course. Chandigarh itself, has the golf club. Something very unique about it, Rahul, which we've all noticed but not really spoken about, is how a lot of the residents in the city, actually, there's a cycle lane in which they can drive their golf buggies to the golf club and back. And that's pretty fascinating for most young golfers, juniors who actually visit that city for the first time, and even the older ones, about just the fun aspect and the allure of having your own golf buggy which you can drive home from your game, and from your home, drive it back to the golf course. It's pretty cool, actually.
That was our look at the 17th hole, and Warren Parik draining that one in.
Sorry. So Yuvraj Sandhu, of course, still at very much the top of the order of merit, and looking forward to gaining his spot by topping it by the end of the season, and finding himself competing on the DP World Tour next year.
And of course, there's plenty of action still remaining on the PGT of India, as there are still many tournaments that remain to be played here after this week's Trident Open 2025 in Chandigarh. The players move to play the Indian Oil Servo Masters in Digboy, Assam. Thereafter, the players
Passion can be soft, comfortable, and good looking. My Trident, my love for home.
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है। मुश्किल खड़ी है, खोले सीना, सामने चट्टान है, मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना, चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है। जिद क्या बावाली, जिद है जिद क्या बावाली, जिद है जिद क्या बावाली, जिद।
As we are now here back at the action on the course and that aerial view, beautiful aerial view of this golf course. That is Yuvraj Sandhu on our screens. This is the view of the 16th hole, the par 5. Of course, Yuvraj and Manoj would both need something special here. Shubham Jaglan has moved to 7 under par with a birdie on the 16th hole as well. So Shubham is tied alongside Yuvraj and Manoj now. And playing the 17th and 18th means like, would he be able to finish with 2 birdies on the trot? Because that's what will be needed. While Manu, of course, will be trying to stir something special of his own.
I'm very impressed with Shubham this week. He's been lurking around the top, oscillating between the second and the fifth or sixth position, and he's just steadily been sitting in there. And a big word of appreciation for the round fired by our friend from Sri Lanka today. A solid 6 under par from N. Thangaraja that moved him up 25 spots to 14th place. And to just tell you how good his round is, his 6 under is, the best round after that for anyone on the course or in the clubhouse is 2 under. So just that's how hard the course is playing, and that's just how good Thangaraja's round has been today.
Manoj seems to have found himself in the right second cut over here, and so is Manu. Seems like a bit of a magnetic situation in that right rough.
And that augurs well for Yuvraj and Shubham, because these two lads are going to have to manufacture shots, and well, it is a par 5, so Manu does have every opportunity, as does young Manoj.
This is the thing about the 16th hole with that. It's a dog leg to the right, so if you're trying to cut the corner with the driver, which most long hitters would try to do, you can end up catching a branch or two on his descent and then end up in a bit of a situation. But Manu doesn't seem too bad off over here. He's just in the second cut, and probably he'll try to cut one back into the fairway, or with an iron, or probably even a 3-wood, try to get it chasing up as close as possible to the green.
But do you reckon he's a bit too far back? Because now we're getting a visual. He's a good 30-40 behind and on the right of where we see Yuvraj in the center of the screen. So probably play it as a 3-shot hole and get on with it, give himself a birdie opportunity. It's par 5.
Well, I guess we'll just all find out shortly. And that bunker, that fairway bunker in the fairway also will be in play. So it's important to note that bunker is definitely going to be in play for the players coming in from the rough, especially. So they'll have to be cautious of that.
Certainly looks like he's got a wood, a fairway metal, in his hand from the length of the shaft.
Just give it a bit of a whack, hasn't he? I think he's done a pretty fine job of that. I'm not quite sure where the ball landed up, but he made a very confident swing at it.
Shaped it left to right and probably give himself a little pitch. And now we have Manoj.
Manoj also in a similar situation, but he also seems to be going with a longer club. It seems to be a wood. Well, if we take an aerial look, I think we missed out on how Manoj has hit that one, but seems to be coming out of the rough now. And Yuvraj Sandhu ready to take it on from the fairway. Sandhu's hit it a long way over here, right in the middle of the fairway. Seems like he can certainly get it 2 on over here. He'll still be about 270 odd yards away though.
He's absolutely got the firepower to get it there. He's not too happy. It looks like he's missed it right. He's staring it down.
Seems like he's leaked that one out to the right.
See how we have it. The final group making its way down the 16th fairway. Very interesting closing last three holes, giving some opportunities to pick up strokes, with the 16th being a par 5 and the 17th a drive of a par 4. And the 18th, in its own way, a very unique left to right dogleg, which compels you to move it about 30 yards off the tee, left to right, with the big stick.
Well, interestingly, contrary to yesterday, Anshul Kaptial today is 1 under par with 2 birdies and a bogey on his scorecard. Quite opposite of the round he had yesterday. He had 8 birdies and 4 bogeys yesterday to shoot around a 4 under par, and today is diametrically opposite in terms of the way he's playing. So, a lot more composure, it seems, a lot more, a lot many more pars on that scorecard today than yesterday.
And exactly right, And we saw Anga Chima yesterday on a tear, firing a 6 under, and today he's just been able to put together a 2 over. And he's had a couple of double bogeys, and his scorecard's been pretty colourful.
Chima's quite a colourful guy, isn't he? While we wait to see where the leader group has landed up on this 16th hole.
Mohammad Azhar on screen.
17th hole. This is 30 in from the front today and 5 from the right. A tough flag location here for this reachable par 4. If you do not find the right position in the fairway off the tee, it's a really tough position to get to. And even if you hit your golf ball back into the fairway, it's a really tough up and down because the green is fully uphill from the front to the back. There we are. Mohammad Azhar cleaning that one out. I think he's made a 4 over here. Let's take a look now at Shubham Jaglan, who is trying to catch hold of Manu Gandas.
Well, a birdie here would help Shubham. We're not really sure whether he has a putt for a birdie or a par. But if be for a birdie, and he makes that would be very, very helpful to put a bit of screws onto Manu Gandas. Yes, it's a birdie putt. That's what our screen shows. So this all-important birdie that...
Let's take a look now at Shaurya Bhattacharya, who's putting for birdie here downhill towards this flag location. Should break a little bit from the left to the right.
I was just going to say that this one should break a bit from left to right. So that's a very important putt for this youngster as well.
This would take Shaurya from 5 under to 6 under par to be all by himself at the 5th position.
Well done.
No trouble there as I call upon my co-commentator Shaurya Singh back into the commentary box.
Shimum with this 4-foot Makel birdie putt. All important. This would move him into solo second at 8 under, 1 behind Manu Gandas. A big putt for this young man, 21-year-old, who hails from a village called Panipat.
I've been most impressed by the way that he's been able to deliver in his very first appearance here.
So he's an exceptionally hardworking and talented young man. Come on. Oh my God, he is not going to be happy at all. That
So unfortunate miss for him right there. That looked pretty good, but
clearly gave it a little more respect. The ball didn't really break back enough. I don't believe he pulled it. It just didn't come back enough.
I thought that should have broken a little bit to the right, but Unfortunately for him, he will still remain 2 behind.
And then artistic drone operator showing us some very interesting angles.
On hole number 16.
Yes.
As you have a look at Manu Gandas.
He doesn't seem very happy. Manu had to carve one out from behind the trees on the right side of the fairway.
It's also a great angle to let our viewers know what the players face on their second shot. You're looking at even the longest hitters facing at least 65 yards to this green. This whole play is almost 580. It's a dogleg to the right. And not many players try and cut the corner. That's why you'll see many of them towards the left hand of the fairway, hugging the left edge of the fairway. And you really need to feisty blows to get it all the way up there.
Now we see on the right side of our screen, Yuvraj. That's where he hit his second shot, Shaurya. He's, I think, just behind that tree. I certainly hope the tree is not impeding his line or his sight or his ball position.
Yeah, he has that, that penchant for hitting it far, and that's how he's able to find himself there into.
Yes.
That is definitely rarefied territory. I tell you that much. Not many players can get green high on this hole.
No, but he's a strong young lad, and he absolutely has the firepower. No doubt about it.
And while we have a look at these scores, of course, Manu Gandas looks like he's still coasting to victory, but of course, no lead is certain when you're talking about professional golf. There are quite a few others who've done well today. You had Enthanga Raja with the lights out round 6 under par today. That would take him 2 under for the tournament. So, of course, showcasing that winner's pedigree as we have a look at you. Raj is currently at 7. If you can make birdie, you can definitely give Manu Gandas something to think about.
Yeah, sadly, Shubham did slip on that one. I feel for him that 3.5, 4 foot putt for birdie on the 17th would have made a world of a difference.
Let's see how he does here. A lot of green to work with. Shouldn't be the most difficult shot from here.
Come on, make a good chip. Oh, it's charging away.
He's done really well here, getting into the shadow of the flag. So that means about 4.5, 5 feet left for his birdie. So he's hit a really good chip shot, all things considered.
Indeed. He's definitely given himself a look at a birdie there. And
good round by Gaurav Pratap Singh as well. Golfer.
Colorful scorecard as well, right? He had an eagle, he had a double, and lots in between that, right?
4 under for the week. So Gaurav Pratap Singh currently in for a tie, 6th position. As we have a look at the youngster Manoj, who's made a bogey on 15 and has moved back to 7 under par.
Jamal Hussain as well, opened his campaign with a 76 and then has pulled a lot back.
Oh, that is has a miscue and then some. Probably a lie that this is what we call in golfing colloquial terms as a jumper. That unbeknownst to you, the grass, there's a lot of tougher grass under the ball, and that sort of gives that sort of springing action to the ball. So even when you catch it a little imperfect, that can accentuate the effect, and the ball gets a lot of top spin on it. So that's where you actually need to utilize the bounce a little more. Easier said than done, I'll tell you.
Oh, for sure, easier said than done, because also at the pro level and club golfer level, it's very important to see when you're making those chips, whether you're down grain or you're chipping into the grass, which is up against you, and that significantly changes the technique that you need to employ to play that shot.
So he'd have that putt from about a good 10, 12 feet after.
And that's going to be for par, because he was also very close to where our leader, Manu Gandas, was with his tee shot, and he would have had to lay it up with his second. So I believe it was his chip.
Safe to say that if he has to indeed try and get into a playoff or win this tournament, that is a must make. Otherwise, I feel it might be curtains.
That would leave, too much for too late. 3-shot difference between him and Manu with 2 holes to play was, I think, going to be difficult to catch up.
Yeah, look at those prying eyes with that drone view.
Come on, young man, make this putt. Has he given it enough? No, misread it.
That's been the theme of the week for a lot of the players. The putts missing on the lower side. And this is another one that, unfortunately, for a very talented youngster, Manoj has
You can see the
misses.
disappointment on his face. He knows that was a big miscue.
Yes, but of course he's only 17. You talk about doing big things at a young age. That this is the textbook definition of that. He's playing beyond his years. So I think there going to be
Oh, he'll have several
opportunities.
opportunities. I have no doubt
aplenty.
about that. But it was, of course, a big opportunity for him to, put himself in the record books alongside Karandeep Kocher and Shubhankar Sharma. But he will have more
I'm
as a
sure.
17-year-old. 5 more months as a 17-year-old.
I'm pretty certain there are many more records that he will break, and of course these are just academic in nature. They don't, but still, he's got a great game. He's got a great future ahead of him. Like I jokingly say sometimes, I got a great future behind me. So, yeah, the good thing is that it's all ahead of him.
Oh, well, this is interesting. Manu Gandas, and it says for a bogey. This seems.
So if this is indeed true, then young man Manoj is still pretty much in it. This means that there's been
oh my
compounding
God,
of,
that's a double bogey.
I'm not quite certain of that. That would mean that there's been a compounding of errors by our leader here. But you can gauge by the body language that it's not quite the same. So, one to pounce on opportunity is this man. He's
Now, this is the one to bring the hammer down.
Yeah. he
Very
can,
important. Huge.
He can smell blood in the water, and this is the time to go for the kill. I say that this is probably a must make.
And oh boy,
And he misses it
too.
as well. This is
He's
Manu has got to be feeling like a cat with 9 lives. Good, he's able to, even if he drops a few, he still stays in the lead.
he's tied, yes, because this would have taken Yuvraj into the solitary lead at 8 under.
So if indeed we'll have an update soon about the exact score that
Are we? It's very close to that because you have Manoj, who's dropped to 7 under. You have Yuvraj still at 7 under. You have Shubham at 7 under, and Manu as well is at 7 under now after his double bogey.
Yeah, I think if that indeed is a double bogey, somebody that won't be complaining is young Manoj. He still pretty much stays in the fray, right? So it's
He does indeed. He does indeed, and it's all happening right here, Chandigarh. A lot of green people running to get a closer view of the action, and I fear, or I suspect, happily suspect, we might be heading to a playoff.
Well, for a viewer, that's indeed a mouth-watering prospect. A playoff is exciting for the viewers, and especially for the players who were on the outside, not for the forerunner. The front runner never really likes being in a playoff, especially if he's done so by his own,
Folly or mistakes.
his own, thanks to his own errant shots of putts. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. You got to take it on the chin. So.
And interestingly, today, Shaurya, no one's really been able to run away. They're kind of making a couple of birdies and then backing up again into the group, and no one really.
I tell you, Chandigarh Golf Club is a masterful design. It's really one that does draw a lot of intrigue. It is such a fair golf course, and it's not one where you can just run away. You have to be firing on all cylinders, so as to speak. You have to putt well. You have to have your iron game spot on drives, and so. Birdies are not just confirmed here. So you'll see that birdies are hard to get. So what is Shubham really looking at?
Interestingly, the pin is, of course, in his Sunday top right pin position. And clearly from where he is standing, he's gone absolutely at it with his second shot. No shortage of aggression there. There you see it. He's probably fired it and pitched it somewhere near the flag, and it's just trickled over the back. but it's still makeable.
I think he's been most impressed by the younger lot of players. The golf gets younger and younger. You're looking at 17-year-old champions, and they're playing like seasoned veterans.
You're absolutely right. But the truth is that they are training very well. They have coaches and mentors for different departments of their game, and the mental piece of it being more important than, of course, or equally important as the physical side of it. They work very hard in the gym. They work very hard on the driving range, hone their skills, work on their short game. So very exciting here. And you have Shubham trying to make a birdie here. Very aggressive second shot, I can tell you. There is absolutely no room on that right side. That's something our viewers will need to appreciate, the aggression with which Shubham has put it out there.
A list of host of dignitaries alongside our CEO, Mr. Joel.
No, he will have a lot of family, friends in Chandigarh, having grown up in Chandigarh and being one of the flag bearers of the Chandigarh Golf Club.
Mr. Rajinder Gupta, Member Parliament, Mr. Rajinder Gupta has been so pivotal. This tournament is supported by Trident Group, and that's led by his dynamic leadership. So we want to thank him, and of course all the other associate sponsors for making this week a possibility.
So there you have it. Shubham Jaglan, Yuvraj Sanu, Manu Gandas, all tied at 7 under. Shaurya Bhattacharya and Manoj S both at 6 under. All of them with 1 or 2 holes, of the case may be, to play. And it's going to be very, very exciting. This is really, as they say, paisa vasool.
Yeah, you're getting your money's worth. We've seen some of the best action here, and this golf course, never fails to deliver.
Shubham to take the outright lead and the clubhouse lead as well.
8 under par, posting 8 under par right now could really be a big.
Has he? Oh, he's not made it, but that was a very good effort. He got the speed on point, but it did turn a little more than he expected. No work left.
So
captain.
Shubham would remain at 7 under par. Now he'll wait with bated breath.
And he has the clubhouse lead as well.
As they say second time's the charm, but maybe for him, first time is the charm. He's here for the first time, and he's leading the tournament, and he's made short work of it. I'll tell you that much. Brilliant 4 rounds, all under par, 1 under par, 3 under par, 3 under par, and
2 under today. No, it's definitely Shubham is a tremendous talent and a tremendous golfer, and we wish him all the very best with his golfing endeavors overseas and across the world.
It just shows you the kind of consistency that he has. He's the only player to have 4 red rounds. Impressive indeed. Some brilliant camera work for that putt, which will snake to the right.
And it snakes too much to the right.
Yeah, we've seen that. All the putts missing.
It's been happening all day.
Side. For Shaurya Bhattacharya. Also a good week for him. Unfortunately, he'll be at 6 under par, so he's 1 shot.
Too shy.
Too shy, yeah. So, but nevertheless, he's going from strength to strength, this young man. And
Mohammad Azhar on screen now.
Mohammad Azhar, an underwhelming finish for him. A 3 over par today for Mohammad Azhar. So definitely not saving the best for last. He finishes the tournament at 2 under par. That's good enough for a 13th place at this point in time.
Yep, he's not had a very happy day. That's for sure.
The players walk off the 18th. That is, of course.
The 18th hole has a very nice, setup. Good, sort of a semi-stadium-like setup there.
In view is Mr. Rajinder Gupta, of course, the man that has made it all happen. There's some insightful conversations going on at this point in time. You can see Shaurya, telling discussing with them maybe a few points about how the golf course is playing, or just about the tournament on the whole. You see a lot of dignitaries there,
That's the
benefactors of the
leaderboard.
game.
That's what they're looking at, Shaurya. So it's all very tightly packed.
And this is never quite over till it's over. That's what the thrill of professional sport, and more so professional golf. It's important to remain even keeled.
Well, even keel it is, Shaurya, because it's very much looking like a playoff coming up, and that's going to be very exciting for all of us in the commentary box, all the members and the viewers in the clubhouse, and of course the players out there.
That's Mr. Kapil Dev. I think that's a name and face that needs no introduction the world over. What he means to the Professional Golf Tour of India, still in fine fettle, enjoys his golf, and of course promoting sport. He's been so pivotal to the growth of professional sport in India. Cricket, how much the wisdom cricketer of the century.
So back to the 18th fairway. From the Victorious Choice Players Lounge, we're now back on the 18th fairway.
My apologies, that's the 17th fairway.
17th, is that right?
Surprising that Manu has actually laid up. So I think that shows that he's able to control his nerves. He would have wanted to unleash a driver after that double bogey on the previous hole, but he's been able to rein himself and strategically going with the safety first approach, and wanting to make birdie the more traditional way with a wedge in his hand. And even the other players have sort of throttled back. So a little surprised to see that. Normally you see players sort of go hammer and tongs on this hole, but
Gibbet shook up after his double bogey on the previous hole, unforced errors.
We saw him go with the driver yesterday. So
yes, we did.
now let's see how he does here. He's the second shot underway, and
He's left himself quite a bit short. That's about 30 feet away.
yeah, maybe the pin position, and you can see the wind, the way it's buffeting.
In his face. It's in his
The
face,
wind,
yes.
the way it's buffeting against the flag. So maybe not reachable today. Headwind from the right, back right flag. So the players really do take into consideration the pin position.
But
And then
all three, Shaurya, all three have laid up. Now
Yeah,
you have Yuvraj as
it's-
well.
It's owing to the flag position and the direction of the wind. So, these players are smart. They're almost playing it like chess at this point in time. I look for this to be close. He's really good from this yardage, is Yuvraj.
Oh,
Surprising. He's also well short of the flag. So,
He's pulled it back almost to the front of the green. Well,
yeah, just see the amount
Long
of
way away.
spin he generated on that shot. Considerable. And
And now young Manoj.
yeah, but the 17th has not yielded many birdies. Surprisingly, this hole normally is a birdie fest. So, of course, the flag pin position and the front right wind. And youngster Manoj, he's one that will be really aggressive on this one.
Well, let's see what he's got.
He's made 2 bogeys on the trot and still in and he leaves it short as well. So this is really surprising. 3 shots,
3
all
wedges.
with similar results. Normally you'd see them all within 10 to 15 feet, but of course you don't want to go over the green. But
Exactly, because there isn't much
but yeah, it's a pretty
you
straightforward.
can do if you go over.
It's a pretty straightforward shot for all of them. Maybe all of 100 yards, nothing more than that.
Possibly misjudging the wind conditions. That's the only thing that I think this can really come down to, and also trying to keep it a little conservative, not really getting after it.
Now the players' lounge, players enjoying, and players, dignitaries, the members, the visitors, all enjoying.
Players Lounge has been a great addition, this year on tour. All the players enjoying the well curated menus and the convenience of dining together.
That we also saw Gaur Pratap Singh in the foreground.
Very interesting trivia there. The Tornio Golf Club is a one-of-a-kind golf club destination that allows players to experience golf in 2 countries, split between Finland and Sweden. This sort of reminds me a little bit about our own Clover Greens, which is spread across 2 states, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. And the phone burns up with messages as you swap fairways. Welcome to Karnataka. Welcome back to Tamil Nadu.
unique insight. You'll get a lot of that from good man, Mr. Shivasnath. This week, Rashid Khan not having the best of weeks, finishing 48th at 9 over par. We also have a look at some of the other scores. Divyanshu Bajaj, 41st. Yeah, MD Akbar Hussain from Bangladesh, shooting a good 2 under par today. Smash Tamang from Nepal.
Yuvraj talking the putt. He just knows how important it is.
Yeah, but
A little too far away than he would have liked.
yeah,
But everything is possible.
Yeah, it is in the realm of possibilities. Everything's possible, but I think if you look at it statistically speaking, probably give that a 5% chance for going in from there. And
So we've been talking internally between Rahul, Shaurya, and myself about what are the possibilities of a playoff. And Rahul has this feeling that someone's going to make that birdie and pull up to 8 under par.
yeah, I'm not certain if that'll happen on this hole. And the 18th is a tight flag. So, I mean, all the signs look like we could be heading into a playoff.
Well, that would be a spectacular end, and of course, a deserving win for whoever gets it up to 8 under. And we're going to make sure that Rahul is back in the commentary box to join Shaurya and take you guys through the 72nd hole of the tournament.
You know, I've seen that Manu Gandas has the penchant for holding the long one. So, you never know that maybe he could make it. Yuvraj as well. Maybe all of 25 feet. That was a considerable amount of spin that he got on that.
That was a lot, but that, of course, can happen and will happen with wedges into winds.
Bobbled up a little bit on him, and I think that's a really good putt.
It is indeed.
Considered. It's difficult to make that. You know, you'd probably make it 5 times out of 100 from that length. You're talking about 25, 30 feet. It's a good effort, nevertheless. Great speed control. You know, it's not just
Very
about
much so.
It's about also hitting a good enough putt that you don't need to worry about the one coming back.
You know, that what you just said, Shaurya, is such an important aspect of golf because, you know, even if you get your line wrong, you can't really get it wrong by a whole lot. But the speed control is really what is the game changer with the longer putts that makes sure you're just not really stressing yourself out over 3 and 4 and 5 footers. Keep hitting them generally in the right direction, and it'll get there, and you'll get the direction right some of the times, but it's really the speed that you have to get right all of the time.
Now, Manu Gandas really stalking this putt.
He's a long way away. Although that said, you know, in our commentary box, visually it looked like Manu was further away and Yuvraj was a little closer, but Yuvraj went first. So,
yeah, this putt would break a little bit from the right. I can't really see this putt going in. Of course, it's quite. You're talking about an elevation change as well, about 3 or 4 feet above where he is. It's a very difficult putt. Maybe even a lower statistical chance than Yuvraj's putt. But you know, when you win tournaments, great things do happen.
I couldn't agree more. Make a good stroke. Has he given it enough?
Nope. Yeah, it's a really difficult putt. A lot of break and change in level as well. So would be able to make his par and remain at 7 under. So as we speak, we have Shubham, Yuvraj, and Manu Gandas all.
And Manoj, of course, at 6 under.
Yeah,
Manoj 20 feet to join them at 7.
Manoj still, I'd say maybe this putt still has a 20% chance of going in. It's about just inside 20 feet. Maybe it's about somewhere bordering there, and he's benefited by seeing Yuvraj's putt. So, you know, there's not much mystery in terms of line and speed.
So you put this at what, 20%, right? You're a man for percentages, the 5s and the 10s and the 20s.
Yeah, well, we're never accountable. So, if it doesn't go in, then my statistics is right. But it's going to be really close.
He gave it a good run.
Yeah, it was really close.
It was a good
run.
Got
the line, and unfortunately, that didn't go in.
So all these 3 boys will now clean up for par. And I will clear the hot seat for my good friend Rahul Bajaj. Come on in, Rahul. Take it away to the 72nd with Shaurya. And you're going to have to make some great calls on that one.
Yeah, good putt by the youngster Manoj there. And Rahul, so as it stands, all the signs, all the roads lead to Rome, as they say. So it looks like we might be in for a playoff unless Yuvraj or Manu, one of them makes a birdie on hole number 18. You think the drive is going to be really important of the tee to determine who's going to make birdie? Staying in the short stuff is imperative. You can't really hit it close from the rough where the flag is on 18.
You'll be surprised actually. Some of the guys can also get it pretty close from that left rough. You can end up getting a shot sometimes. I don't really think that for any of these three players getting the ball into the fairway is going to be very tough. But certainly one of them needs to make a birdie, and I think it'll be a 15-20 footer that will be rolled in. And I still feel that there is a good chance that one of them is going to make birdie.
Yeah, you're right about that, but I think keep that fairway where they hit it. Both of them are able to get the ball beyond 300 yards. The fairway maybe they're not the widest, where the longest hitters probably hit their drives. So
Well, we did see Manu get it pretty close yesterday.
Gift yourself the red carpet treatment with luxurious 100% cotton bed sheets. My Trident, where luxury finds home.
What a great shot! But he looks tired. And that's a drinks break.
But what's the plus sign for? अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस। जब लगे थकान वाली प्यास, जरूरी है सेल लेवल हाइड्रेशन। इसके इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स आपके सेल्स को रिहाइड्रेट करें, एनर्जी लौटाएं, थकान वाली प्यास मिटाएं।
जब आपको भी लगे थकान वाली प्यास, अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस, थकान वाली प्यास के लिए।
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
At the golf course, here's a look at all of the players having a little bit of a chitter chatter post round, chilling all out together.
Arjun Sharma, Amardeep Malik, Angad Chima with his back to us. That's Lakshay Nagar. Varun Parekh as well.
Right. Singh Alawat sitting down right beside Chima. The players having a bit of a light-hearted conversation post the tournament, as they'll all be preparing now to move to the airport and go to Digboy right after the prize presentation is finished from here. We've got the leader group now on the 18 tee box. Yuvraj Singh Sandhu teeing off first.
You'll see the players tee it up almost as far as possible on the left-hand side. They want to get a clearer view at this fairway.
So for those who've never played this golf course, there's a lot of trees on the right side of this tee box which go in all the way till about 200 yards off the tee. So the players have to use the left side of the fairway to cut a ball back into the fairway.
Looks like he's hit that really well. Looks like it's right in the heart of the fairway. And it's a little to the right-hand side of the fairway. And that's long. And that's perfect, right?
As perfect as it could be, I think.
It's going to be within 100 yards.
What do you think, Shaurya? In fact, the player on the left side of the fairway does get a clear view of the green. But a player on the right side, actually, because of that location and the pin being on the right side today, you certainly know that you have to fly at a certain distance,
Yes.
right? So, actually, it's tough to say which one actually doesn't have the hazard in play.
I think as long as you're in the hazard from 100 yards in, it won't really affect them. I was most impressed by how quickly the youngster hit this. He took maybe all of 15 seconds to hit this shot.
You could learn a thing or two from that.
It's too late. As they say, you can't teach an old horse new tricks. But
And I'd be happy to learn though, because I could be pretty slow at times as well.
but he's really quick, and,
Yeah.
and that's something that is a welcome change. All of them, the three of them have are probably going to hit that shot under a minute for 3 shots, especially on the 72nd hole with so much at stake. So, for all our viewers, especially our weekend warriors, you don't want to, take too much time. Paralysis by analysis. This is a very important tee shot. Starting towards the center of the fairway and also fading right some near Yuvraj's ball. And
Perfect
also
drives.
a belter, another big drive. Look at both of them next to each other. So not leaving each other's sight.
Absolutely. What brilliant tee shots here. While Shubham Jaglan probably is at the putting green at this moment, keeping himself warm just in case he has to go into a playoff, while Sandhu and Gandas, of course, need to make a birdie. Will they? Will they not? Why don't you throw in some comments into the YouTube chat box, ladies and gentlemen? Whom do you think is going to pull off a birdie over here?
Yeah, all your questions. Do let us know what's on your mind. Of course, keep it a little filtered. But is the entire team of the Trident group, making this tournament happen. It took a lot of effort for this to come together, and must say that it's going to have a worthy champion. A big thank you to the Trident Group and all the other associated sponsors, the PGA Tour partners, Victorious Choice, IndusInd Bank, Amrutanjan, Electro Plus, Amul, Campa, and Rolex.
There's a whole village that has to come together to host a golf tournament, let alone the PGTI of India is a professional body for golf in India and who is hosting some of the best golf tournaments across the country and taking the game to various new towns as well. The tour went with the PGTI Next Gen to Bhubaneswar just a week ago, and they also went to Philor, Ludhiana. Really spreading the game across in various towns, and just like that, also going to Digboy, Assam, just next week, which is the Indian Oil Servo Masters being played for a prize purse of 1 crore rupees, with Jamal Hussain being the defending champion for the tournament, and it's one of the oldest tournaments on the PGTI calendar.
Look at that walk. It tells you a lot about each person's personality. Manu, of course, very relaxed, even-keeled. Yuvraj is really assertive. He likes to catch the bull by the horns, so as to speak. And Manoj, he's keeping up. He's a young man. He's right in there. He's just 17, maybe right in school still.
But I must say, he's pretty focused. He doesn't have much of pressure showing in his body language or on his face, which is superb. The chairman of the Trident Group there on our screens, and of course the two of us here on the right side of your screens. There we have the entire group of Trident standing right next to Kapil Dev and Amandeep Johal from the PGT of India.
Yeah, engaging in pleasantries. And it's a great moment for golf, not just Indian golf. We have players from all countries and I think almost all continents who now played on the Professional Golf Tour of India. You have so many members, and thanks to the world ranking points, the association with the DP World Tour, it's the tour is definitely going places.
On the tour here, Boy Assam, and after that moves to Rambagh Jaipur. Let's take a look at Manoj S coming off the fairway here on the 18th.
They couldn't have dropped the balls closer, and all three of them have hit huge drives. Well under 100 yards for Manoj. Let's see how he does from here. And he has put a little bit too much steam on that. So he's airmailed the green, back left, maybe too much adrenaline. That's understandable. He's hit a big drive and just putting a little bit too much heat on that one. So,
nevertheless, a great showing this week for Manoj, and definitely a great career awaits him. Let's take a look now at Yuvraj Sandhu.
I must say that these are prodigious drives. They just have a flip wedge. The distances that Never quite been seen before. Accuracy, but distance is not going to be good enough to cut it right now. He has to get this close, at least within 10 feet, I'd say.
I think if anyone can get that wedge really close, Yuvraj certainly can.
It's almost match play now between Yuvraj and Manu.
Well, if they want to close it over here, unless they want to take it another hole.
Not quite certain where that ball has gone.
I think the camera is as flummoxed as we are.
Yeah, he's also not quite certain where that ball has gone. So also depends on the kind of lie that you draw in the fairway. That I know they've hit the fairway, but the fairway also has two grades. You either have the grass cut into you or with you. So if it's cut into you, you're hitting into the green, and sometimes the ball can climb up the face, and I think that's what's happened there in that instance.
And probably also, the case of being aggressive, trying to get it very close, but also making sure that you, carry the hazard, make sure that you get enough yardage on that club. Let's see what Manu does from here. Now, Manu actually set himself up for a beautiful birdie yesterday. Can he hit the same kind of shot today?
I really doubt that it would be miscued by both the players. There has to be something more. Maybe they were heading from the darker cut of the grass. So let's see how Manu does. He's definitely has the door all open for him at this point in time. Yeah,
Manu.
he leaves it short. So this group on the last two approach shots, they've been brilliant off the tee, but very underwhelming approach shots from their high standards on the last two holes.
It might just be a competition of the flat stick here on this putting surface. So Manu, of course, leaving himself short of the flag, probably looking at the other players going past the flag, as underplayed that one just a tiny bit. He should have a 20-footer from the right to the left. A tough putt, but makeable for a player like him.
Yeah, I'm not quite certain where Yuvraj has hit his shot. I think he flared it to the right. He's in an animated conversation with his caddy. Maybe they had about 90 yards, all in all the way to the flag.
Yes, but about 28 in from the front. So, that would still be about 100 plus to the flag stick. 26 in from the front today and 6 from the right. So, probably have about 100 to 110 yards to the flag. That would be a sand wedge for most players.
You can see the applause from the gallery, and it's heartening to watch Yuvraj. See, he's also hit it over. So this is surprising, given his vast experience. I think the only thing that I can think of is the kind of lies that they've drawn.
Well, definitely, Yuvraj certainly must be thinking about chipping it in right now. Whether he's doing that or whether he's thinking of making that up and down is hard to tell. But at this moment, it certainly looks like you both were right about seeing a playoff later on.
But you think from here, I think the prudent approach would be to just try to get the chip close rather than to get too aggressive.
Yes, it's not the easiest of chips actually, not for Yuvraj and not for Manoj, because this green does run away from you from the back to the front. So the ball can tend to get enough of speed. And Manoj has done a pretty fantastic job of that
really,
chip shot.
really well done by the young man. What a showing! That'll be good enough for a tie for fourth position for young Manoj, and he's been able to display some exemplary golf and great temperament all throughout this tournament.
I'm sure he wouldn't be quite happy with that finish, but he should be very proud of himself for the position he's put himself in today, to fight it out with these stalwarts. And this would just give him a lot of experience going forward.
Looks like he's drawn a fairly good lie, sitting up. This is chip in territory, so to speak. Just have to be mindful of the speed. Doesn't want to hit it too far ahead.
Yuvraj has a lot of rich experience behind him.
And he's done exactly that. That has gone good 8, 9, 10 feet ahead. So there's a lot of drama. There's a lot of intrigue. So when you lock in and check into the Professional Golf Tour of India and you watch our tournaments, know that nothing is certain. The only thing that you will get is brilliant golf. And of course, golf is never certain until the last putt has been sunk. So unfortunately for Yuvraj, looks like he'll have to make that putt. And Manu Gandas now is a crouching tiger. He's all his eyes are set, eyes are on the prize. He looks really locked in.
He's staring that one down, trying to find that line and locking his eyes on that line.
He's
I really like his stare. He's not letting it dwindle. He's just staying down the line.
these players have dropped some shots coming into the final stretch with Yuvraj making a bogey on 15, Manu Gandas with a double on 17, Manoj making bogey on 15 and 16. So the leading group has been leaking oil towards the last few holes of this tournament. But 16th is a difficult par 5, so you never know. Players can drop a few shots, but this putt, all of 18 feet turning from the right for Manu. He would have ideally wanted to be closer, but he'll take this at this point in time. An 18-footer to win the tournament. Rahul, what are your thoughts about that?
Absolutely. I think Manu has a good chance to make this putt. He is a phenomenal putter, and from this range, certainly is. And look for this ball to come really close. Find the hole, I think.
Yeah,
Manu trying to stay focused here. That ball's going to come a little bit from the right to the left, a little bit uphill as well. So it's going to be a fine balance between being firm enough and catch the right line here.
Yeah, he has a penchant for making long putts. I think if there's a time, now is the time. If he doesn't make it, then we, of course, head into a playoff. That putt is underway. Let's see if it... and he's missed it.
That was way offline.
Yeah, that's about a foot and a half, right? So that would be only good enough for a par now. Yuvraj, of course, needs to make this putt to join that playoff. So, ladies and gentlemen, as it stands, we would be heading into extra time. We are going to be seeing a playoff, and this golf course does do that. We've seen quite a few playoffs here. Now, Yuvraj has to make this putt. That'll be a very costly, unforced error. But the good thing is that he's seen the line. He's hit that chip past the hole, so will have a lot more clarity and not be perplexed by the line. That's why you can see he's very assertive. Should break a little bit from his right.
Well, this is his chance to stay in the playoff.
The pineapple and the ball in clear view. Oh yes, look at that! Never a doubt. He does deliver.
What a brilliant putt there for Yuvraj Sandhu.
Does Yuvraj. I'm sure he felt a few nerves there, but look at that! Look at that! Never displayed it. Look at that. He's having a few choice words with himself, of course, but I must say that this is the stuff that champions are made of.
Yes, he really put himself under duress there with that putt, but has come out with flying colors. We'll be seeing a three-way playoff if Manu is to finish up with a par here.
Young Manoj, what a week for him. Probably after holding this, will go back to reading his arithmetic and completing his assignments. Friends would ask, how was your weekend? Ladies and gentlemen, go watch on TV. That's what you tell my friends. Not too bad, not too bad. So 4th position for young Manoj.
Brilliant showing. Brilliant week for Manoj. One of his top finishes on the PGTI. And of course, a win waiting for him.
Manu now. I think that putt didn't quite break the way that he was expecting it to. And when I thought that it should break a little from right. And the playoff, he'll be playing the 18th hole. Good putt right there. We thought that the tournament would be one at 9 under, but of course, golfing gods had a twist in the tail. So, ladies and gentlemen, please stay with us. We're going to be going shortly into a three-way playoff. It's been an exciting week as we wrap up 72 holes. 72 holes were not enough for us to find a victor. We've seen high caliber golf, and at the culmination of 72 holes, we have the trio. And I think it's just befitting that we have three players on top in the Tri-City playing the Trident Open. Shubham Jaglan, Yuvraj Sandhu, Manu Gandas, and of course we have three commentators. So it's a week of threes.
Try commentary.
So do stay tuned with us while we take you to the playoff.
Well, this will be one interesting playoff with Shubham Jaglan, who's coming in and debuting here this week on the PGTI, and Yuvraj Sandhu, who is the current Order of Merit leader, and Manu Gandas, who is the former Order of Merit winner here on the PGTI. Three-man playoff here at 7 under par, going into the 18th hole as we take our viewers through this aerial view of beautiful city and this beautiful view of this golf course, the Chandigarh Golf Club here, flanked by Sukna Lake on one side, and all these trees, the forest land, as well as those hills right there in the background.
You also have that beautiful range adjacent to the golf course.
Yes, the Chandigarh Golf Academy. You'll see not many players there practicing day in and day out and honing their skills.
Yeah, in addition to just great golfers, you also have some great teachers, coaches here at Chandigarh. It's really a place that you want to be at.
Absolutely, an entire ecosystem, and that's the reason that it's the environment that the city creates, which actually helps these players come up and develop in due course of time, and that's what we've seen, from the likes of Simranjeet Singh, and thereafter today to the likes of the Ajitesh Sandhus and Karandeep Kochars and Angad Chimas, and the list is just goes on and on and on.
Yeah, indeed. And of course, every time that we do come back here, the hospitality is impeccable. They do love their sport here. And more often than not, we do end up having a playoff. So it's something about the setup of the golf course. Very difficult to have a runaway victor here. The field does sort of revert to the mean.
Well, the best round of the day has been 6 under par, bogey-free 6 under par by Sri Lanka's N. Thangaraja to finish at a tie for 13th position at 2 under. It's a great effort by Thangaraja today.
Yeah, Thangaraja had a few quiet days, but of course saved his best for last. And to add to the 6 under, it was a blemish-free 6 under. He had 3 birdies on the front nine, an eagle on the par 5, and then a birdie on the final hole.
Well, surprisingly, Kushal Singh, I think, got hit by the commentator's curse over there. Was bogey free till the 16th while we were waiting for him to finish those last 2 holes also with birdies. But unfortunately, he dropped some there and finished at 3 under par. Tie for 10th position for him with Hani Besoya and Badal Hussain.
Yeah, he was at 5 under par. Would have only needed a few birdies as we have a look at the updated scoreboard.
Scoreboard here with Shubham, Yuvraj and Manu going into a 3-way playoff, and Shaurya Bhattacharya as well as Manoj finishing at 6 under par at a tie for 4th position. The young Anshul Kaptial finishing at 4 under alongside the experienced Gaurav Pratap Singh and Jamal Hussain as well as Akshay Sharma. And Badal Hussain, who's finished at 10th position along with Hani and Kushal at 3 under par. Surprising though, we were really expecting this to go into 10 under par for the winning score, but clearly there were other plans.
Yeah, I think at one stage he looked pretty certain to reach double digits, especially after that birdie on 14. And I thought that on 13 rather, he had 6 holes to go, and unfortunately after that, not being able to capitalize on that double bogey was a bolt from the blue. So it's pretty surprising that that happened. And you're looking at the lounge, the, the many benefactors here, and golf is a pretty popular sport here. A lot of members and so on and so forth who do play their golf here. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are joining us at this point in time, I tell you that it's never too late to start a good thing. Here at the Trident Open 2025, being played at the Chandigarh Golf Club. And we currently have a three-way tie on top of the leaderboard. Shubham Jaglan, Yuvraj Sandhu, and Manu Gandas. They're all at 7 under par. This is a pretty difficult week thus far. Scoring was high compared to regular weeks, thanks in large part to the difficulty of the tee and especially on the greens. The cut was applied at 4 over par, and we've had a total of 57 players making the cut. There's some notable names in the field. Rashid Khan at 9 over par, tied alongside another notable player, Mr. Dipankar Kaushal at 9 under par from Noida. And alongside another player from Noida, Lakshan Nagar. So a lot of bonhomie there. We have the winner, Tapendra Ghai, at 7 over par. Abhinav Lohan, 7 over par. You also have the very consistent Arjun Sharma at 6 over par. MD Akbar Hussain from Bangladesh, 5 over par this week. Shivendra Singh Sisodia at 4 over. You have the American Koichiro Sato at 2 over par. The winner, Dhruv Sharon, at 3 over par. Amardeep Malik, even par. Consistent week for Malik. Started strong with a 1 under and then a 5 under on the third day. Arjun Prasad, who's also fighting for the top spot on the order of merit, is shot a 1 under par. And Hani Basoya, also previous winner, at 3 under par. And the highest ranked international player this week has been Jamal Hussain at 4 under par. In a playoff, the players will draw lots to see who will go first. Rahul, have you ever been in a playoff and you want to elucidate a little bit more on that process?
Nope, I actually never made it into a playoff. If I won, I only won it
on your own steam.
On my own steam.
Yeah,
so.
you were always miles ahead of the rest of the pursuers. You know, our friend here is always belonged.
I think I was pretty close to a playoff this one time in Jaipur at the Rambagh Golf Club, where the tour goes in 2 weeks' time, and that was, if I'm not wrong, that was the PGTI feeder tour event. At that point of time, the next gen was called the feeder tour, and I think it was just a one-shot thing. I have actually gone to a playoff with Akshay Sharma, in fact.
So our friend here, of course, is amnesia can strike at any time, and so that's why we implore you to take your vitamins, ladies and gentlemen. But of course, now Rahul is jogging back his memory, and so are the players.
It was a long time ago, wasn't it? Like a decade ago or so, I think.
You know, we've been around a while, and that can happen, of course. But these players will remember this playoff. As the carts take the players back to the tee.
Shubham, of course, has already reached up to the tee box and is waiting for the other two players to show up. And that, I think, is Amritinder Singh, is it?
Yeah, I couldn't quite see him. Free Camo. And that's us. And the sponsors, my apologies in the commentary booth. I think amnesia is hitting me as well. It's been that sort of a day. We're waiting for our players.
Sampachari.
There you see the opportunity for the players to meet the legend in the flesh. How he won that World Cup. And I think he scored 176 against Zimbabwe, if I remember. Interacting with the members, the attendees, and the sponsors. And there you have Mr. Sampachari, tournament director, chief referee. Normally there's a coin toss between two players. I wonder how you decide between three. Maybe you draw lots and see who goes first.
Amritinder Singh really pulling out that camouflage today.
He's just making sure that everything is in order. He's a member here, a very good golfer, long, storied career. Comes from really good sporting lineage himself.
I think his father was one of the first professional golfers from India. Amritinder, of course, has played a lot of golf on the domestic tour here as well as on the Asian tour. In fact, he's one of the first players to have gone out of the country and competed professionally. And so were players like G. Milkha Singh, who is a very good friend of his. In fact, some of the first few players to have gone out. Let's take a Manu Gandas to go first here on the 18th for the first playoff hole between the three lads.
Yeah, I think we've seen that birdie on this hole is indeed quite difficult. Only 2 birdies on hole number 18 today, so it's going to be difficult for these players to make birdie. Seems like pretty inaccessible, that flag. As we have a look at this drive, let's see if he can repeat the one that he hit in regular play.
I think he's hit that one again pretty good.
Yeah, another beautiful drive. It could well be in his own divot.
Perfect. Straight down into the middle of the fairway.
But
that would also lay a lot of pressure on the other two players.
In regulation play, the players are a little more conservative. Now they can be a lot more aggressive because it's all up for the grab. So I expect that. Yeah, you're right. They would be feeling the heat a little bit. He's put it in perfect position.
It's kind of like an advantage Manu there, right? Whoever tees off first and then gets it into the fairway, of course.
Yeah, like Jack Nicklaus used to purposely leave a little short and hit it close and put some pressure on the rest of the players. Let's see where Shubham has hit it.
Jaglan, I think, has also found the fairway, but I think it's slightly left side of the fairway.
You're not quite certain where that is, as we have a look at UV.
Yuvraj Sandhu going with a driver here.
I think he'd have a lot of positive energy going in because he made that 7 or 8 footer.
Certainly.
So if momentum is the thing, obviously he's definitely carrying that momentum.
And of course, just 2 weeks ago in Pune.
Now, starting at the center of the fairway and fading, I think he should be somewhere close to where Manu is. Oh, that has gone the other way, and it's gonna
keep going.
That's gonna keep going. We need to follow that. He might even get a shot from there because he's hit it so far. Surprising. That looked like it was turning to the right, but went the other way. An errant call from our box.
In fact, Yuvraj was in the playoff with Shaurya Bhattacharya at 21 under in Pune just 2 weeks ago. So Yuvraj, of course, fresh memories. So, and with that putt, like you mentioned, would definitely be coming in here with positive energy. And I don't think that would be too bad, though. Catching that cart path and running off, it could probably be well within about 50, 60 yards to the green
Yeah,
from here.
I think he might even clear the line of trees. And if anything, if it's gone far enough, the water might be taken out of the equation altogether. If it's really rolled on that cart path, and you never know, maybe about 10, 20 yards short of the 10th tee.
Jaglan seems to have caught one of those branches of the
Now
right trees over there.
this is really interesting. I don't think he can go for the green from here. It's never going to stop. He's going to have almost, dare I say, about 280 odd yards, maybe.
Maybe not 280, but yes, somewhere around 220 to 240 yard shot, and that's going to be a big one for him. He's.
What do you do in the?
I think the best chance that he has now is to put it on the left side of the green somewhere.
Now he has to just try
You know?
and aim for par somehow, because that his aim would be now to just live to fight another day.
So now certainly it looks like advantage Manu, unless we come to know that Sandhu is in a good location. But I have a feeling that Sandhu will have a pretty clear shot to this flag.
Yeah, not quite certain, but prima facie, it looks like Manu Gandas is definitely in the driver's seat, with the other two sort of looking in. Of course, Shubham would really need to dig deep and find some sort of shot that I don't know if he can hit the green from there. If you carry the hazard, I don't think it'll stop from the lie that he had. So maybe just hit it towards, try and pitch it 10 yards short and roll it up to the front of the green.
And that's perhaps the best case scenario. And, that kind of an approach over here certainly gets the hazard into play.
Yeah, so he would want to miss it left, maybe try and chip and putt for par. At least want to make 4 if you don't want to be making bogey, but he's...
That is not the water hazard we are talking about, ladies and gentlemen. The other one's a little smaller than this one. This is the Sukna Lake.
That's a big one, I'll tell you that much. But at this point in time, the 18th hole hazard would also be looking rather big to Shubham, where he is at 235 yards out with that hazard, and that green which is perched up, and it's a sliver of a green, to be honest. The depth is negligible. The width is a lot. So, he definitely has his work cut out. Unfortunately, just maybe catching a few of those branches, and that's the beauty of the design, and of course the beauty of this golf course. And this is some nifty camera work, drone work, a drone pilot, I think that's what they call it. So our drone pilot is doing brilliant work. And while we wait for our players, let's also look at the beauty of the setting. Back to Manu Gandas. And so yeah, that must be the case of one of those sprinklers again.
Yes, I think he's getting a free drop from that sprinkler.
So you'd say that's a good drop, or that's negligible, because it doesn't quite matter. You anyways have to drop it.
Really wouldn't matter.
Maybe you can drop it where the grass is a little better, maybe growing with you as opposed to against you.
Well, grass is always green on a golf course, so I guess the lie would be pretty similar both sides, except for maybe against the grain or with the grain is kind of what he can only opt for. That's the only advantage that he could kind of get with that drop.
So let's see. He's definitely in the driving seat. We'd like to see where Shubham has hit his shot, if he has indeed.
And it is going to be interesting now because Manu, of course, having a second chance from that similar location, and Manu can probably put enough pressure now onto Yuvraj, especially from the place he's hit it as.
Okay, now we'll soon find out where Shubham has hit it. Manu now.
Manu coming up from the fairway, seems like he's got a sand wedge or a gap wedge in his hand.
The wind should be a little from his right. I look for this to be close because he was in similar territory. It's almost like hitting a mulligan. The mulligan is always goes close. So if you go by that analogy, this should be pretty close. And
seems like we've lost sight of it.
Yeah,
He's not quite happy
he's
with
not
that.
happy, and my predictions are not coming true either. I'm a little surprised. This 18th hole is not yielding to these players.
You were never quite the clairvoyant anyway, my friend.
Yeah, definitely, I know that for sure. Seeing the future is not one of my strengths. So,
Yep. Last time you saw the future, you mentioned something about being at 10 under par.
Yuvraj, I think that is impeded by that tree. Has not quite certain if he'll have a line to the flag.
I think he's got a clear backswing. He's just making sure it's clear enough.
Yeah, but in these tricky sort of shots, it's you never quite know until you execute it. That's his father. Seems to be a little bit of disturbance in the foreground, just ensuring going through his routine. And one of the advantages of hitting it long enough that you can actually outrun the trouble.
I have a feeling that he's got a line to the flag.
Yeah,
He's just making sure that the backswing doesn't hit the tree.
Yeah, that's a difficult one because he'll have to hit a draw, and that hazard.
And that's way over the green.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, but he's over the greens, and I think prudent play by Shubham as well. He's laid up, and from there was no chance of hitting the green. So I think he's taken his medicine.
I think it's smart, the play that he's.
By the looks of it, it looks like maybe par could be a score that you never know. None of the players are on in regulation.
And now that you say it, yes, it does seem like that par might actually take the tournament. And you've got Shubham now. Maybe he could make this up and down from the fairway. That would be quite something.
Yeah, he's dialed in, and he's hit it about 10 feet over. You can see Manu's ball over the green, pretty much in similar territory to where Yuvraj was, maybe a few yards ahead. The chip shot that Manu would have would be considerably a lot more difficult than the one that Yuvraj was facing.
Well, Shubham also has some chance now, pretty much from about 15 or 18 feet away, which is for a par.
Yeah, this is a lot of intrigue. Not one that we bargained for. We thought that that they'll make short work of this hole, especially after playing it so well on the previous few iterations, right down the middle. But of course, pressure in golf is something that can sort of just creep up on you.
I'm pretty sure right now Shaurya and Manoj are probably sitting in the Shamiana and wondering where is it that they could have made one birdie more, or where could it be that they could have dropped one shot less more.
I think dropped, they'd be ruining the drop shots for sure. They missed a few putts. Now this, so for our viewers, if a board or a sponsor's board impedes upon a player's swing, then that can be removed. So that would be removed for him, and the kind of lie that he's drawn, it's a downhill lie, and there's not much green to work with. There's a hazard behind the green. It doesn't get a lot more difficult than this, does it?
Well, we can see that the viewers over there, the spectators on the golf course, are thoroughly enjoying it because things are really interesting out here.
Rahul, he can't quite pitch it on the green. He'll have to pitch it short and run it up.
I think it'll totally depend on the lie. Yes, he would most likely, the more prudent approach, or you can say the more percentage play, would be to sort of bump it into the slope over there and let it go trickle down towards
very
the
difficult,
hole.
very difficult up and down, downhill. You see the lie, it's downhill, and there's not much green to work with. Green is hard. What do you say is a good shot from here?
I think you should just pitch this slightly short of the green, let it trickle down towards the hole, and maybe let it catch the slope slightly.
10 feet in is good.
Certainly not. I think 6 feet and in
From this
what
line,
he needs for sure. That's what he needs. But looking at his putting and the putt that he just made a few moments ago, he'd be pretty fine even with something that goes past the hole.
Yeah, this is a real test of his short game. I'll tell you, it doesn't get a lot more difficult than this. It
seems like he's opened up that club face. He's going with an aerial route.
Yes, if he makes this up and down, that really is something.
Well, yes, he is.
It's a downhill lie, and he's opting to go with the higher shot. So let's see how he does here. Seemed like good execution. And as I said, this is a very difficult shot. Getting it within 10 feet would have been a good effort. He's about 15 feet short. So, the door is ajar. I don't think, as far as the playoff is concerned, you would get a better opportunity than a chip and putt to maybe win the tournament, right?
I was thinking more like he was probably going to drop the ball in that same place, but not with an open face, probably with something with a little more of a lower loft on that club face.
Yeah, just a difficult place to miss it, to be honest.
Absolutely.
All things considered, it's you can't.
You've got very less room here to work with, and in this situation, you're of course trying to make the best decision possible, trying to get it as close as possible, and maybe he was trying to drop it a yard or so ahead. Anyway, he's got about 12 feet now for a par.
Will be determined by this shot. You think Manu would have seen Yuvraj's chip the first time, how it rolled past, and that would give him something to sort of go by? And
No, I think Yuvraj didn't catch that first chip very well on the 72nd hole that he was playing in regulation play, so he didn't quite catch that shot well. So I don't think he would have given away much of information.
What are we looking at? Are we looking at him pitching it on the green, or?
Absolutely, we're going to look at him pitching it just onto the green and letting it release towards the hole.
Yeah, so this is a pretty tense moment for the gallery and the viewers. A chip and putt, maybe to try and win this tournament if the others can't make the putt, but that's a little bit of conjecture there. Let's see how he does. That's a good shot, really well executed. Leaves him about 2.5, 3 feet. So I think par is secured for Manu. Good on him. Now,
Well, these are really those 3-footers that make the player feel like 30-footers. So, certainly a nice shot, but 3 feet remaining for Manu to close in with a par over here. And now the pressure really is on Yuvraj as well as Shubham Jaglan to make their pars to stay in the playoff. Because the more realistic par here looks like it's Manu's.
Shubham also. Unfortunate for it to have clipped the tree, but I think he's done really well. Organized his thoughts and played the hole strategically. And thanks to that, he has a 12, 13 footer to try and extend this playoff. So I think full marks to him.
Absolutely. He's giving himself a chance, and, really goes to show he's got his head on his shoulders and, kind of knows his game well.
And that unfortunately comes up a little short for him. So, as I say, his watch has ended.
A very impressive play here by Shubham after miscuing that tee shot, playing it back into the fairway, giving himself still a chance to stay in the playoff. Unfortunately, that putt coming up short. And now all eyes on Yuvraj, the local lad, trying to keep up with Manu.
We've seen him do it time and again. Whenever the call is there, he's there to answer it. And whenever under the cosh, he's been able to deliver. I know this is a difficult one. This is a downhill left-right putt, but he's done it before. And if anybody else, you need a player to do it in this scenario. It's going to be Yuvraj. He's one that you can put your money on. Of course, a difficult one, but look for it to be a good putt. And always sticks to his routine. Very assertive. Maybe about 2.5 inches from the left, and this should break now. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, so it's
the door is now open.
It's heartbreak for Yuvraj. Unfortunately, it's not going to be his week.
Well, that's 2 bogeys in the playoff hole from our 3 leaders, and now the door is all open. The stage is set for Manu Gandas to hold this 3-footer and be the champion of the inaugural Trident Open 2025.
He's giving this the due respect. At about 3 feet, maybe left in should do it. If you want to take a putt, I think this is ideal, right? Just 3 feet and not much break in it. Uphill as well, so I think he should be able to make it.
Well, Manu's done this several times. He should certainly be able to make it.
And these two have gone head-to-head so many times before, especially in that breakout season when one had 5 and the other had 4 victories. And so this is really something. So this for the victory.
It was a couple of years ago when Manu finished number 1 on the order of merit and Yuvraj finished second.
Yeah, it was A battle of the ages, a duel in the sun, and this has been no different. You know, they've really gone hammer and tongs, the two of them, and Shubham as well. So this putt is for the win for the inaugural Trident Open, and he does it in style. So, ladies and gentlemen, your victor is Manu Gandas. It was not easy. There were challenges, there were hiccups, but he came out unscathed. No victory is easy, and this wasn't either. He's done it in style with rounds of 66, 73, 69, and a 1 over par. What a week it has been for Manu Gandas, a former number one looking to regain that crown once again. So, congratulations to Manu Gandas for that spectacular victory and staying the course.
What a brilliant week it has been here at the Chandigarh Golf Club for the PGTI and its players. It's a tournament supported by the title sponsor Trident Group, the inaugural Trident Open 2025 for a prize purse of 1 crore rupees. Winner Manu Gandas. And, the Trident Group is an Indian business conglomerate and global player led by the dynamic Mr. Rajinder Gupta, Member of Parliament and Chairman of the group, headquartered in Ludhiana, Punjab. Trident Group is one of the largest players in textiles in India and abroad. So
it's been a brilliant week. He was pushed right to the limit. He was at 9 under par, dropped, made a double bogey coming in, but was undeterred. He's got that indomitable spirit. And of course, there is Mukesh Kumar, a legend. You know, that's when a legend congratulates you, you know what it means.
absolutely, he's won over 100 tournaments professionally in the country, and he's also won the Panasonic Open Asian Tour event at the Delhi Golf Club.
Having that man's arm on your shoulder tells you that this was an achievement worth remembering. You know, this is a name that is going to resound long in the annals of golf. He's already ventured in Europe. I'm certain that he'll do it again, and he's only going to go from strength to strength. Manu Gandas, ladies and gentlemen, is your champion golfer. He took the Trident to the field, especially in the playoff, the mythical Trident Open is the inaugural one, and that beautiful trophy. What a week. Do stay with us as we take you through the highlights and have a look at the week that was. And what a tournament this is, and I'm certain that it's going to be a mainstay of the tour. The players have loved it. Our congratulations to even Shubham Janglan and Yuvraj Sandhu. They've been brilliant players. And Shaurya Bhattacharya, the youngster, 17-year-old Manoj S. What a showing by him. Shivas, your thoughts on this week thus far?
Well, thank you, Shaurya. That was indeed an exciting end to the event, and we pretty much called it that this is likely heading to a playoff, and the playoff itself was not short of any excitement. Yuvraj with a miscued drive to the left, and then having to play a very skillful bump and run that just ran too far. Shubham catching the trees right through that shoot off the tee itself and leaving him self in a position to make a par at best with a wedge in, and Manu, of course, rather nervously getting it just over the back of the green and making a very nice chip. So all in, I think Chandigarh Golf Club has stood the test of time. Very, very strong adversary for the players. A 7 under being the winning score for 72 holes, and all in a great event hosted by the Trident Group. First time ever the Trident Open, and Chandigarh truly living up to its name and fame as a strong and solid venue. So all in, I think the playoff was a great culmination for the event, and we've done well. Next week, of course, is Big Boy, and we get a visual of the gorgeous trophy and the very intricate designs on the plates, which will probably go to the winner and probably the leading amateur. And I think all in, Chandigarh's been a great host, great food, great weather, good course conditions, and a lovely playoff to end it all up.
Ladies and gentlemen, do stay with us as we await the prize presentation here. And in the meantime, the order of merit after the Pune Club Open, we have Yuvraj Singh Sandhu atop at 98,67,200 rupees in his kitty so far. And after this week, he would have moved beyond a crore in earnings for the season thus far. And definitely still a lot of golf to be played. And we've also got Arjun Prasad, who's currently at number 2, N. Thangaraja at number 3 from Sri Lanka, and Shaurya Bhattacharya at 4th position, Udyan Mane at the 5th position, and we have Angad Chima, who's currently at 6th, Jamal Hussain from Bangladesh at number 7, and of course Manu Gandas, who was at 14th position on that order of merit, will now have jumped up a bunch of positions on that order of merit.
So, Rahul, how do you see it going now with we're at the end of the season? Thanks so much, brother. Appreciate it.
Passion can be soft, comfortable, and good looking. My Trident, my love for home. Passion can be soft, comfortable, and good looking. My Trident, my love for home. Passion can be soft, comfortable, and good looking. My Trident, my love for home. Passion can be soft, comfortable, and good looking. My Trident, my love for home. Passion can be soft, comfortable, and good looking. My Trident, my love for home. Passion can be soft, comfortable, and good looking. My Trident, my love for home. Passion can be soft, comfortable, and good looking. My Trident, my love for home. Passion can be soft, comfortable, and good looking. My Trident, my love for home. Passion can be soft, comfortable, and good looking. My Trident, my love for home. Passion can be soft, comfortable, and good.